Hello friend, welcome back. In this video, I will discuss about what is MVC and its benefits. First of all, what is MVC? MVC is a programming design pattern or methodology which separates your application presentation from your business logic. In MVC, you will get three components. One is M for the model, V is for the view, and C is for the controller. Every component of each part are designed to perform a specific task. Now let's talk about benefits of the MVC. First benefit of the MVC is reusability. It means one of the block portion of your code, you can use it over the project for several times. Second, you can easily maintain this application. Third benefit of the MVC is many developers work at a time without interrupting one another. Fourth, MVC supported text-driven development. TDD in short. It means like in your project, if you complete one block of portion or complete total development, then you can test this part individually. Let's check this with an example. Like when you browse one of the URL from your browser like facebook.com and click on the enter, then what exactly happened behind the scene? Your request go to the Facebook server. Then Facebook server inquiry this request from their data source, which we call as database. So it will inquiry this request and fetch some of the appropriate data and send this data to the server. And then server depend on your data will be visible in your browser screen by HTML formatted source. So now this process, if we match with the MVC, when you see this HTML page in your browser, it's a view. Then server work as controller because it will decide your data request. Like when you enter the facebook.com, then it will show you the Facebook homepage, and when you click on the Facebook timeline, then it will redirect it to your Facebook timeline page and the database we defined as model. Hope it will give you some idea how MVC work. Laterly, I will show you that things with practical work. So thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In this video, I will show you where you will get all the necessary project file and complete project source files. For finding out our project file, which I used in particular that course, you have to go to your course content and there is a section 1 as the introduction. And here there is a section 3 as the exercise file for download. And here also they have one of the option as a resources and that is the exercise file.zip. So whatever the materials I used on particular that course, you will get all the things into this folder. So that is the zip file. First of all, you have to download it and then you have to extract that file. And when you extract that file, then you will get this type of some of the folder. One is the MDB file, that is a XAMPP file. That means that if you want to update your PHP version, then you can work with this one. So I will already discuss about that things with you, how you can update your localhost PHP version. And also there is a project backup file. And into the project backup file here, there is a two type of project. That is a Laravel 6 code project, all that source file with the SQL file, and also there is a user authentication system, all that file you will get from to this folder. I hope all that file will help you a lot. I will try to keep this course up to date all the time and I will add more videos related with Laravel 6 for you. I am here for help you as much as I can. So don't hesitate to let me know about your issues. I will be in your touch. So thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. PHP is one of the oldest and most popular web development languages and Laravel is its most popular framework. In this video, I will discuss about why. The PHP scripting language has a variety of frameworks with robust technical capabilities such as Laravel, Symfony, Coordinator, E, Falcon, Cake PHP, Zen, and Slim, etc. Yet Laravel has retained the top position on the list of the top PHP MVC frameworks. If you go to the Google trend and compare Laravel with other all frameworks, then this result will surprise you. The following screen shows the trend over the last 5 years of selecting PHP frameworks on Google Trends. The graph above clearly shows how Laravel has increasingly become popular as compared to the other PHP web frameworks over the last 5 years. So what is the reason to gain such a huge popularity and how it's cover all the things that your web application needs? First of all, Laravel is a fast development lifecycle and less code functionalities. It's easy to learn, making web application faster, configuration errors and exception handling, automation testing work, URL routing configuration is very high in Laravel. Schedule task configuration and management, it has huge community and unlimited resource. If you face any issues, you will get lot of resource from the Google and from the Laravel forums. And most importantly, it's very easy to get a job if you have Laravel skill. In our next video, I will take you a deep dive into what exactly is Laravel and the reason why Laravel remains the leading PHP frameworks even today. So, thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In this video, I will take you deep dive into what exactly is Laravel and the reason why Laravel remaining the leading PHP framework even today. So let's discuss about Laravel features. First of all, its MVC support and object-oriented approach. The first and best advantage of using Laravel framework is that it flows. Model, view and controller based architectural pattern, and it has an expensive beautiful syntax which makes it object oriented. Then built-in authentication and authorization. Laravel provides an out-of-the-box configuration for the authentication and authorization system. That is, in just a few artisan commands, your application will be equipped with CRUD authentication and authorization. Then packaging system. A packaging system deals with the multiple support software or libraries that help the web applications to automate the process. Laravel uses Composer as a dependency manager which manages all the information needs to multiple packages. Packages are a great way to accelerate development is to provide the functionality we need out of the box. Then multiple file system. Laravel also has a built-in support for the cloud storage system such as Amazon S3 and Rackspace cloud storage and of course for local storage. It's amazingly simply to switch between this storage option as the API remains the same for each system. One can use these three systems into one application to serve file from multiple locations like in a distributed environment. Then Artisan Console. Laravel has its own command line interface called as Artisan. Common uses of Artisan include publishing package asset, managing database migration, shading and generating boilerplate code for new controller, models and migration. These features frees to development the creating proper code escalatons. Then Eloquent ORM. The Eloquent ORM is Laravel built-in ORM implementation. Laravel has the best object relation mapper as compared to the other framework out there. This object-oriented mapper allow you to interact with your database object and database relationship using expressive syntax. Then template engine. Laravel comes with the inbuilt template engine known as the Blade template engine. Blade templating engine combines one or more templates with a data model to produce resulting views. Doing that by transferring the templates into cache PHP code for improved performance. And then testing. When it comes to the testing of the application, Laravel by default providing the unit test for the application, which itself contains tests that detect and prevent regression in the framework. Integration of PHP units such as testing framework is very easy in Laravel application. They have so many features in Laravel. I have highlighted some of the features with you. So thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In this video, I will discuss about course and development prerequisite. That means before starting this course, what you should know. You should know the basic PHP, basic object-oriented PHP fundamentals, basic HTML and CSS, and also basic Bootstrap. I suggest you to pick tutorials based on this concept first to gain a better understanding of Laravel. For the course prerequisite, I will create this project with PHP. So you will need one local host server. For the local host server, you can use XAMPP, WAMP, Vertigo, MAM, whatever you like. But I will be used XAMPP for all over the project. And also for the development references, you will need one text editor or IDE like Sublime Text Editor, Visual Studio Code, NetBeans, PHP Storm, Atoms, etc. All this editor is totally free software All that you have to do, you have to download this and install it in your system. I will be using Sublink Text Editor for this project. That's all you will need for starting this course. If you are ready, then let's get started. Hello friend, welcome back. Before install that latest Laravel version in your local host, you have to update your localhost PHP version. Like if you go to that Laravel official website, and here if you go to that documentation, and into the documentation there is a server requirements. So if you click on the server requirements, and here you can see the PHP version should be equal or higher with the 7.2.0. So if you are already using that latest version of PHP in your localhost, then it should be okay. Rather than how can update your localhost PHP version, in this video I will show you that things with a live example. I will work this project into the localhost, and for the localhost I am using the XAMPP. And XAMPP is the free localhost server, and that is totally free if you go to that Google, and here if you search with the XAMPP download, and from to these positions like they have some of the links, like here if you open it, and from here you can download that XAMPP, like that is our 7.1 and 3. There is a PHP version is 7.1, and also there is another one. So it depends on your Windows. If you are using that Windows, then you can download that things from here. That is for the Linux, that is for the OS. Okay, so whatever the version you actually need, you can download that things from here. It's pretty much easy. One of the things, first of all, you have to do, you have to download it, and then you have to just install it. And after that install, you get this type of one of the box. And here first of all you have to do, you have to run your Apache and the MySQL. Like if you click on the start, and here I also want to start our MySQL. So when you will be start two of these, then if you put that as a local host, like here I just define that local host, then you get that type of one of the page. And into the page here, if you go to the PHP info, and into the PHP info, right now I am using the PHP version 5.4. So how can update it? How can update your localhost PHP version? In this video, I will show you that things with a live example. So now let's get started. I already installed that XAMPP. So here I already installed it. So for the reasons now I want to update it. For doing this, like they have the one of the resource as a 4.4g.NET and the project and the XAMPP. And into the position here you can see that is actually the XAMPP, and here you have to go to the files, and into the files they have all that versions, like for the Mac version, that is for the Linux version, that is for the Windows version. Right now I'm using the Windows, for the reasons I am select this one, and here you get all that your PHP versions, like there is a 7.3.9, that is a 7.2.2, that is 7.3.8, and also that another one is a 7.3.7. So here you can see that is all that file. So if you like select as a 7.3.7, because in our Laravel it should be required as a 7.2.0. Okay, so right now, so that is actually okay. So that is a 7.3.7, and here you get all that file, like that is one of the zip file. So here there is a 64-bit zip file 7.3.7. So first of all you have to do, you have to download it. If you click on here, it's automatically will be download in your computer. I already download this file. If you go to your exercise folder, so this is the exercise folder. I will share that things with you. You will get that file. Okay, so now you can see that is a XAMPP for the 7.3.7. I already download that file, so that is XAMPP and 7.3.7. So first of all you have to do, you have to click on the right button, and here one of the option for the extract here. So first of all you have to extract it, and when you extract, then you get this type of one of the folder, and you can see that is actually the XAMPP folder. So all that file is included on particular that position. So now we have to do, we have to update three files, one of the Apache folder, and there is a PHP and the PHP myadmin. So these three folder we have to update in our local host. So when you install that XAMPP, you will get one of the folder in your C drive. Like if you go to that your C drive where actually you install that XAMPP. So here I install my XAMPP in our C drive, and here you can see when you install it, you get this type of one of the folder as a XAMPP. And now you have to open it, and into these positions, like here you have to update this Apache, and that is actually PHP and the PHP myadmin. So that's all for our old version. Like here I already discussed about that things with you. Here now I am using the PHP version 5.4. So now I want to update it. So if you want to update, then you have to actually update these three files. So right now, better I just make as a rename, or rather than you can also delete that things from here. So I just define as a Apache old. For before doing this, you have to stop your Apache. Okay, like here I just stop this Apache and also stop that MySQL. So now here I just define as a Apache old, and also I have to update this one. There is a PHP, so I just define as a old, and also for this one I just define as a PHP my admin as a old. Okay, so here I just define that as a old. I just rename it, rather than you can also delete that things from here. And now we have to update this three folder. Like I already download one of the file that is actually 7.3.7 for the XAMPP. So now there is a Apache, PHP, and the my PHP admin. So now I have to copy three of this folder and now go to our localhost into the XAMPP area, and now simply I just paste three folder on particular that position. So it may take little time, so when it should be done, then I will come back again. Our three folder is pasted successfully in our XAMPP folder. Like there is our Apache folder, there is a PHP folder, and the PHP myadmin. Now we have to open our PHP folder, and into the PHP folder they have one of the file as a this one that is actually the php.in. So now I open it with the sublime text editor, and into this position you have to update one of the path. Like if you click on the search, and here I just define it as XAMPP, and you can see that is one of the path. That's the path you have to update. Like here if you go to the localhost, like that is actually the C. Okay, so for now I just copy it, and now here into this position you have to update that path. There is a C and the XAMPP and then the PHP. So now let's find out another one. So this one also I have to update it, and now another one. So here I also want to update that all path. So that is another one. Okay, so I just update that path, and that is also another one. I just update it, and also I want to update this one. Let's find out another one. So this one I also have to update, and also there is another one I update it, and now click on the find. So every path is now updated successfully. So that's the things you have to do. Right now I just click on the save all, and now you have to run your Apache and the MySQL. So now I just click on the start for the Apache, and also that is a MySQL. So now if you go to your localhost, like here there is our localhost, I am just refreshing that page, and now if you go to the PHP info, yes, now you can see there is a PHP version 7.3.7. So now we successfully updated our localhost PHP version. I hope you can well understand about it, how can do that work. And also there is a PHP by admin, so that means all the database related issues will be in particular that position. Like if you go to the PHP by admin, yes, it's also perfectly working on here. I hope you can well understand about it, how can update your localhost PHP version. So that's the file. I will share that file with you. You get that things from to this position. That is the exercise file folder. So this folder you have to update three of the folder. That is the Apache, and that is actually the PHP and the PHP myadmin. I hope you can well understand about it, how can update your localhost PHP version. In our next video, I will discuss about that Laravel. How can install that Laravel latest version and the 6 is recently released. Okay, so how can you install that Laravel in your localhost? In our next video, I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I already discussed about that things with you, how can update your localhost PHP versions. Right now, I am using the PHP version 7.3.7. So in this video, I will show you how can install that Laravel. So that is the first requirement. So I already solved that requirement. Now I want to install it. So you can install that Laravel with using the composer. It will be very much easy. So how can do that work step by step? I will show you that things with a live example. For doing this, first of all, you have to create one of the project folder. Like here, if you go to our XAMPP, so that is our XAMPP. When you install that XAMPP, as I told you, then you will get one of the folder in your C drive. So right now I'm installed that XAMPP in our C drive. For now, if you go to that XAMPP, and here there is also one of the folder as a htdocs. So now open it, and htdocs is the main root directory of your local host. And into the local host, first of all, I want to create one of the folder. Like here, I just name it as a L. That means for the Laravel core functionalities. So I just define as a code. Okay, I just define as a code. That means the create, read, and the update and the delete. So for education purpose, I'm using this one. I just create one of the folder as a code. And into the code folder here, I want to install that Laravel. So for doing this, first of all, here you have to define as a CMD. So I just define as a CMD on that part. Now you can see it's now showing as a XAMPP and the htdocs, and that is our folder name. So into this folder area, I want to install that Laravel. So before you install that Laravel, I want to install that composer. So if you want to install that composer, you have to go here. Like right now, we don't need this. So here I just define as a get composer. And into the get composer, here you have to go to the downloads. And into the downloads here, you can see there is also one of the command line installation. So right now I just want to install it with the command line. So here I just copy it, and in our directory, so that means here I just simply paste that things on particular that position. So it should be created one of the file on particular that area. Here you can see it's created one of the far file. And after that creating, here you can see, and after that composer install, here there is also one of the link as a unlink composer setup.php. That means this composer setup.php, we don't need this. I just want to make that things as an unlink. So if you click on the enter, then it should be gone from here. So here I successfully install that composer, and right now I want to install that Laravel. So make that sure you are connected with the internet. So all the file actually he downloaded that things from the internet. So now I want to install that Laravel. Like if you go to that Laravel official website, and here I want to install it via the composer. So I already installed that composer. Right now I want to create one of the project with this one. Like that is also one of the command line. So now I just copy it. Okay, and now in particular that position I paste it. So whatever the project folder you want to create, you can put that name on particular that position. So like by default that was the blog. So right now I want to name it as a L blog. Okay, I just define name it as a L blog. So he'll be created one of the folder, and it should be download all the requirement file from the internet. As I told you, make that sure you are connected with the internet. So now here I just put our project name as a L blog. So now click on the enter. So all the necessary file it should be downloaded on particular that position, and it may take little time for download all that file. Okay, so make sure you are connected with the internet. You'll be created one of the folder as a L block, so that I define for our project name. So it may take little time, and make that sure you are connected with the internet. So when it should be done, then I will come back again. Here you can see it's already downloading all the requirement file with one by one. So as I told you, it may take little time, and also make that sure you are connected with the internet. So it's now on processing. So when it should be done, then I will come back again. Okay, so now here our Laravel 6 is successfully installed in your local host. And now if you want to access this folder, then you have to go to that local host. That means that, as I told you, htdocs is the main local host. Here you can see there is a main local host, and after that local host you have to go to the icode. Okay, and then you have to go to this block. That means the L block. So here first of all I just define as the L code. So here there is a local host. After that local host there is a L code, and then I just created our project name as the L block. Now click on the enter, and now here you can see it's now redirected all that resources file. Like if you go over that folder, so that is our all that file is now visible on particular that position. So that is the by default. Then you have to go to the public, and into the public here you can see it's now showing our Laravel installed successfully. So here I installed our Laravel, and here I installed the Laravel 6 version. So that is the latest versions right now that is actually running. Okay, so now it's perfectly installed in our local host. So here this link is little bit longer. So if you want to reduce it, like here you have to go do that work. Like here there is a server.php. So I just copy it, and here I just paste it. And now first of all here I just define as index. Okay, I just rename it as the index.php and now go to the public. And here one of the file is the stxs. For now I just copy it and now here I just paste on particular that position. Okay, I just paste it. So now you don't need to access that public. So now I just remove it and now click on the enter. Yes, now you see now you can actually access your project with this URL. So that is our folder. There is another our project folder as a L block. So we'll create our code application on particular that position. Okay. So step by step, each and everything will be very much clear to you. So here we successfully install it, and now if you go here, like that is our project. So now I want to add that folder in our sublink text editor. For this project I will using that editor. Okay, that means the sublink text editor. Like here I just click on the new window, and now in our new window, like that is our folder. So it's pretty much easy, the drag and drop. So I just select it and I just paste on particular that position, and here you can see all that file and all that folder you can now access from to this area. So in our next video, I will discuss about that overview of our Laravel structure, how all that file structure is organized in Laravel. So thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In this video, I will discuss about Laravel default file structure. The application structure in Laravel is basically the structure of folders, subfolders, and file includes in a project. Once we create a project in Laravel, we get an overview of the application structure as shown in here. Here refers to the root folder of Laravel, namely Laravel project. It includes various subfolders and files. First of all, app. It is the application folder and includes the entire source code of the project. It contains console, exceptions, and middleware declaration, controller, providers, and model. That is the default Laravel model. Console includes the artisan commands necessary for Laravel, where all the commands are declared with the appropriate signature. Then exceptions. This folder contains all that method needed to handle exceptions. It also contains the file handle.php that handles all that exceptions. Then HTTP. The HTTP folder has subfolder for controller, middleware, and application request. That's the Laravel default controller. As Laravel flow as a MVC design pattern, this folder includes model, controllers, and views defined for the specific directories. The middleware subfolders includes the middleware mechanism comprising the filter mechanism and communication between response and request. Then providers. This folder includes all the service providers requests to the register event for the core server and the configure a Laravel application. Then the bootstrap. This folder enclosed all that application bootstrap script. It contains a subfolder, namely cache, which includes all type of associate for the caching a web application. You can also find the file app.php, which initialize the script necessary for bootstrap. Then config. The config folder includes various configuration and associated parameters required for the small functions of the Laravel application. Then database. As the name suggests, this directory includes various parameters for database functionalities. It includes three subdirectories as seeds, migration, and the factories. Seeds, these contain the classes used for unit testing database. Migrations, this folder helps in query for migrating the database used in the web application. And factories, this folder is used to generate large number of data records. I will show you how all things work in Laravel, so everything will be very much clear to you. Then the public. It is the root folder which help in initialize the Laravel application. Then resources directory contains the file which enhance your web application. Here you will get the views folder. Views are the HTML file or template which interact with the end user and play a primary role in MVC architecture. Then the route. Route is the way of creating a request URL of your application. You will do a lot of work in this route. And then the vendor. Laravel is completely based on composer dependency. For example, to install Laravel setup or to include the third-party libraries, etc. The vendor folder includes all that composer dependency. In addition to the above mentioned files, Laravel also includes some of the other files which play a primary role in various functionalities such as the GitHub configuration, packages, and third-party libraries. Hope now you have little idea about Laravel file structure. So step by step, I will show you each and everything with live example. So thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I already discussed about Laravel file structure. Now I want to work on it. So step by step, each and everything will be very much clear to you. So into this session, first of all, I want to create one of the code application with using the Laravel. That means how can create data, how can read data from to the database, how can update data, and how can delete data from to the database. That means how can create the code application with using the Laravel step by step. I will show you that things with the live example. For doing this here, I already installed our Laravel and that is the Laravel by default one of the template, that is a blade template. So right now I want to make the things little bit interactive. For code functionalities, I don't want to use any template for this one. I want to create that template with using the material design bootstrap. So with the material design, you can actually create one of the page. So I will show you step by step, each and everything will be very much clear to you. Like if you go to the Google and here if you search with the material bootstrap CDN, then you will get a lot of the resources. So with this CDN you can actually create one of the page layout very easily. So I will show you how much easily you can do that work, then it will be very much clear to you. Like there is also one of the site as a mdbootstrap.com, and into this site you will get all that material design bootstrap file on particular dat positions. Like if you go to here and now there is also one of the option as a download, like click on the download, and here there is an option for the direct download, and here if you click on the direct download then you will get one of the zip file. So I already downloaded, like if in our exercise file I will share that file with you, that is a mdb file, and here you can see there is actually the mdb file at 488 zip. So that is the zip file. When you click on here, there is a direct download, then you will get this type of one of the folders. That is our in our exercise file. I already share it. So now first of all you have to do, there is a zip file, you have to extract it. Like here I extract it, and into these positions here you can see there is all that css. You get that things from here. There is a bootstrap mean, there is a bootstrap, there is a mdb css, and all the required things, like there is a font, the images, and also all the jss file, that means the bootstrap mean jss. Okay, so with using this material bootstrap, then how much easily you can create one of the, you can design one of the page. I will show you, then it's really very much interactive. And also they have all the things, like here you can see that is if you want to add some of the navigation, you get that code from here. If you want to add some of the tables, if you want to add the forms, I will show you, then it should be very much clear to you. So first of all here you have to extract it, and here there is our index.html. So now I want to open it. Like here I just open it with the sublink text editor. So here there is all that file, so that is all that css file is linked on here. There is also, there is a js file. So now I want to update our default template. So when you install that Laravel, that is our default template. And into the default template, what exactly the things happening? Like here, when you actually access that route, that means the home route. So if you go our that positions, like that is our route, and into the route there is a web.php, and into the web.php there is actually the URL, one of the parameters. So here it means actually the home. Okay, and when you access that URL, that means the home URL, its function return you to the view and the welcome page. That means if you go to the resources, and here you can see there is one of the folder as a views, and into the views there is a welcome, and blade.php is the Laravel default template engine name. Okay, so now you can see that page name is the welcome, so it should redirected to you that page, that means this welcome page. So now for the code application, I want to create some of the file and folder, and then I will segment it. Okay, I will show you. All right, now that is a view. Okay, like in our view I just create one of the folder and I just name it as a layout. Okay, I just name it as a layout, and into the layouts here I want to create one of the file. Like here I just click as a save as, and I want to create one of the file as a main dot blade dot php. So I just name it, and I also want to create another one. Like here I want to create another file name. I just make the things as a save as. Okay, I just click on the save as and I just name it as a footer dot blade dot php. Okay, and also I want to create another page. Like here I want to create another page and click on the save as, and I just name it as a neighbor dot blade dot php. Okay, so here I created three of this file. One is the main, one is the neighbor, and another is the footer. Okay, so that is actually the three part. And in the main blade, that means here, so in particular that position I want to do in our bootstrap. That means in our bootstrap here I open one of the file, that is the index.html. So now I just copy whole things from here. Okay, I just copy whole things from here, and in our main blade here I paste it. And now here there is all that link, there is a JS link, and also they have some of the CSS link. So we have to update it. So right now there is index HTML, we don't need this. I just remove that things from here. So first of all, here I want to update that path. So for doing this in Laravel, if you want to access it, you have to define that with the double second bracket, and here you have to define as an asset. Okay, asset, and into the asset means actually the root directory. Okay, like if you go our drive, like here there is our L block. So asset means it should be started from to this position, that means this directory. In our project directory I just assign that in Laravel as a asset, and after that asset here in our that folder, that is all that folder, the CSS font and then the images JS and this one. So all that folder I just copy from here, and in our project, in our public here I just want to create one of the folder as a test. Okay, I just define as a test, and here I just paste all that folder particular that position. And now I want to link that page. So that is in our project that which I assign that things with the asset, and after that asset then the public and then the test. So here you have to assign it. So I just define that asset, and after that asset here you have to define your public, that means the public folder. So I just define as a public folder, and after that public folder I created one of the folder as a test. So I just define as a test, and after the test here you can see there is actually CSS folder and the bootstrap CSS, right? Like if you go to that page, like there is a public, and after that public there is a test folder, and into the test folder there is a CSS, and after the CSS here you can see there is a bootstrap.css. So that will be our file link. So for now I just copy it. Okay, I just start it and I just paste on particular that position. I hope you can well understand about it. Asset means that our project root directory, and after the project root directory I just define our things, like that is our asset, that means our project root directory, and after that there is a public, and after public there is a test, and then the CSS and all that CSS file link. And also we have to do the same things for with our JS, like there is our all the JSS file. So now first of all I have to update it. Okay, so better I just copy it, and I also have to update this one, also update this one, that is a CSS. I just start it, and there is a CSS style. Okay, so first of all you have to add all the file links. So I just start it and I just paste it on here, and also they have some of the JSS. So for the JS we have to also do the same things. Better I just copy it, and here I just paste it. So after that test, then the JS folder, like if you go to this place, like here you can see that after the test then the JS folder and all the JSS file. So right now I want to add that file, like there is a JSS. I just start it, and after the test, so here I just paste it. So I just copy it, and here I just paste. Okay, so for now I just updated that JS all that file. I cut it, and here I just update it. Also there is another JS, so I just cut it, and here I just paste it, and there is also another JS as a MDB means, so I just cut it, and here after that JS I just add it. So here I updated our path, that means all the JS file path I updated, and here that is our all that CSS I just updated on particular that position. So I hope you can well understand about it. And now that is the part. So that is the our project part. So right now I remove all the things from here. Okay. And in particular that position, I just want to make that page segment. Like here, I want to include our footer. I want to include our neighbor on particular that position. So how can segment that page? I will continue this process, and in our next video, I will show you that things with a live example. So if you know that basic structure, then Laravel will be very much fun for you. So stay tuned with me. I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I already discussed about that things with you, how can add that bootstrap material design. And also I created one of the file as a main blade.php, footer blade.php, and the neighbor blade.php. And also I updated path for the all the CSS and also for the JSS. So I hope you can well understand about it, how can update your that path. And in this video, I want to segment all that page. Like here, if you access that page, like that is our Laravel by default one of the page. So this page is actually comes from our views, and that is a welcome blade. So that the welcome blade is now visible by default on particular that position. So now I want to update it. Like here, if you select all and if you remove all the things from here, and now if you click on the save all, and now if you click on the refresh, now you can see it's now become blank. So how can segment all the page? So that is the main core things that you should know. Okay, like that is our blade.php. And in our blade.php here, I want to added our this main blade on particular that position. Okay, because here I want to segment it. Like first doing this, first of all, here you have to write down as the extends. And here I just define extend and extend which file. I want to load that file, that means the main blade. So in our main blade there is a layouts folder, and after that layout that is the main. So now we have to write down that things on here as a layouts dot and then main. So I just define our main file on here. Okay, and also after that I want to add one of the section. Like here I just define as a section, and here I into the section I define one of the ID as a contain. Okay, I just define one of the ID as a contain, and I have to and it. So I just and that section. So I just define that and section on here. And for better understand here, I just take one of the h1 tag, and here I just defining it as a home page. Okay, like here I just define as a home page. So I just define one of the h1 tag on particular that position. And now here I just extend our layout main.blade. So now in particular that position I also want to include our neighbor and also the footer. Like here in particular that area I include it like as a @include. Okay, I just define include, and also here you have to define that URL path. Like here I have to define that layout. Okay, into the layouts here I created that file as a neighbor. Okay, I just define as a neighbor on particular that position, and also I want to include our another one, so that is on the footer. So here I just defining it like as the include, and then I also want to added that in our layout folder, and then our footer. Okay, I just loaded our footer. So our neighbor and the footer will be the same for our every pages. But I only want to make one of the part as a dynamic, like that is actually contain. So for the reasons here, I just define one of the part as a contain. So this content part will be the dynamic, because if you go to create the about us page, into the about us page, our header part will be the same. That means the neighbor will be the same and the footer will be the same. Only in our inside that content will be changed. So further, if you want to make the things dynamic, so I want to add one of the another things, like here, which part will be the dynamic, you have to defining it on here. So if you want to do that work, you have to define as yield. Okay, so EL part will be the dynamic, and here I just define one of the ID as a contain. So right now I have to define that part as a contain. So only this contain part will be dynamic. For the reasons I just define as a void, and include, I just include the our neighbor. So neighbor will be the same for the every pages, and footer also will be the same for the every pages. So I will show you, then it will be very much clear to you. Like here I already included our navbar and the footer, so that is our footer page and the navbar. So right now I want to add some of the script from our MD5 here. Like here there is MD bootstrap, and if you go here and here, if you find out one of the navbar from here, like if you go to that contain, not into the contain, there is a component, into the component here, actually the navigation, and into the navigation here you can see there is actually the navbar. So now I just select as a navbar, and here you can see there is actually the navbar, all that design pattern on here. So now I want to do, so like that is actually one of the navbar, it's automatically ready-made all the things. So right now I just copy that code. Okay, so I just copy whole code from here, I just copy it, and now in our neighbor I paste it. Okay, so that's all the demo data. And also there are another one, like I just also want to take the footer part, like there is a footer. So footer will be just like that, it's automatically ready-made all that code. Okay, so for now I just copy it, and now in our footer part I paste it. Okay, laterly I will customize it, I will show you. So now I just added some of the footer on particular that code on particular that position, and also I added the navbar on particular that position, and that is our main blade. And in our main blade I included our navbar part, our layout part, and into the central position that is a contain. And contain will be the dynamic, for the reasons I just make the things as a yield. And in our home page here I just defining that layout. Okay, and here into this position I just segment one of the contain, and here there is our h1 tag. So now let's check this out. If you click on the save all, and now if you refresh that page, like here I just refresh it, yes, now you can see now that is our navbar part, and that is our footer part, and that is our el part, that is the contain id. Here I just defining it on here. So for the every pages our neighbor will be the same, footer will be the same, and here you can see I just defining it when you access that welcome plate, and here I just extend that page, that means the layout main. So for right now that is the page is loaded, and into this page I just include the our layout neighbor. So for the reasons here you can see there is a layout, our neighbor is added on here, and also I add include the footer part. So footer part is also loaded on particular that position. And here I just define one of the page content ID. So there's our EL part, that means this will be the dynamic for the every pages, and for the every pages this part will be the change. Okay, so now here I just define one of the h1 tag, we dig into this section, and here that is actually the visible on particular that position. I hope you can well understand about it, how much easily you can design one of the page with using the bootstrap material design. Okay, so now I want to do, I want to actually customize it. Right now I don't need all that things. Okay, so now that is our neighbor. So if you now go to that neighbor, and in our neighbor here there is all the features. So right now I want to actually, I don't need that drop down. So here there is actually the drop down, so I just minimize it and I just remove it from here. And also they have one of the search, like here there is a search, so I also don't need this. That is actually the form, so I just remove that things from here. And that is, I only want to take one of the one field, like here I just take one of the field as a add new. Okay, so here I just want to add new, and now I also don't need this. So for now if you click on the save all, and now if you refresh that page, yeah, now you can see everything is gone. There is a home, and there is another button as a add new. Perfect. So from to this position I just want to create one of the page, so I will do that things later. And now here I just define as easy learning. Okay, I just define as easy learning. And now if you click on the save all, and if you now refresh it, yeah, perfect. Now you can see there is actually easy learning, there is a home page, and there is another page as a add new. And for the footer right now we don't need that type of things. Okay, I want to actually minimize it, so go to the footer blade, and into the footer blade, so that's all that part, we don't need this. Okay, like that is actually the one of the div, so I just select that div, and now I just remove that div, and here there's some of the link, I just remove it, and here I just put my site. Okay, so is learningbd.com, and here I just define as easy learning. So here I just define as a easy learning. I just put as a 19. So I customize our footer part. Now let's check this out. I just click on the save all, and now I just refresh it. Yeah, perfect. Now we see that is our navbar part, that is our footer part. So better I just put some of the herif like bracket like here. That is our in particular that position, that in this section. Right now I just put some of the break. Okay. So here I just put some of the break, and now click on the save all, refresh it. Yeah, perfect. So as I told you, this navbar will be the static for the every pages. So the footer will be the static for the every pages. Only this part will be the change. Like when you create the create page, then it will be very much clear to you. So our navbar and footer will be the same, and only the content part will be the updated. So I hope it's very much clear to you how much easily with using that bootstrap material design you can create it. And that is actually MD bootstrap. You, as I told you, you get all the materials from to this position. So if you want to use any component from here, you can use it. So right now I'm using the footer part and also the navbar, and now it's now perfectly visible on here. So in our next video, I will show you how can create the database and how can configure it. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In your previous video, I already discussed about that things with you, how can design your page with using the bootstrap material design, and now it's perfectly visible on here. In this video, I will show you how can create the database and how can configure it into the Laravel. For doing this, first of all, here you have to go to the local host. So here there is my local host. Right now I am using the XAMPP, and here make that sure you are started your Apache and the MySQL, and now go to the PHP admin, and into the PHP admin, that is our database. For now I just select as a database, and into the database there have option for the create database. Right now I want to create one of the database as a L code, and now there is an option for the create. Now I just click on the create, and now here you can see our database is created successfully. So now our database name is L code. So now I want to configure it. So for configure it, you have to go to your this position, that means root directory, and here there is also one of the file as if. Now you have to open it, and in particular that position here you can see that is actually the database, and that you have to put your database username and the password. So right now I created one of the database as a L code, so I just paste on particular that position, and now I am using the local host. For local host, our username is the root, that is actually the by default, and password that have no password. So you get all that information, like if you go to your main database area, and now there is an account, that means the user account, and into the user account here you can see there is a username by default, that is actually the root, host name as the local host, and password right now I don't have any password. For the reasons I just make the things as a blank, so that is actually the blank, and the username I just define as a root, and that is our database. For now, if you click on the save all, and now I just want to refresh that page. So if everything okay, it should be work. You can see it's perfectly, they have no errors, so it's perfectly configured. So how much easily you can configure it in Laravel, I hope you can well understand about it. But if you want to do that work with using the PHP, then you have to write down a lot of the code for this one. I hope you can well understand about it. In our next video, I will discuss about that route. How can create the route and how the route actually work in the Laravel. Each and everything will be very much clear to you. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In this video, I will discuss about Laravel route. Routing is one of the essential concepts in Laravel. It's a way of creating a request URL of your application. Routing in Laravel allows you to route all your application requests to its appropriate controller. In Laravel, route offers some of the route methods. In route, there have the 6 type of methods like get method, post method, put method, delete method, patch method, and the options method. When you want to fetch some of the content, then you have to use get method. When you want to insert some of the data into the database, then you have to use post method. When you want to update some data into the database, then you have to use put method. When you want to update one single field in the database, then you have to use patch method. When you want to delete data, then you can use delete method. Step by step, I will show you all that method with live example. Now let's get started with the code. Finding out the route, you have to go to your directory and there is a routes folder, and into the routes folder they have the web.php. Now open it, and in Laravel route it gets two parameters. One is the URL and another one is the callback. For now here this is the URL and this function is the callback. And here this URL actually indicating the home, like when you actually access that folder, that means the our root directory, that is a L block, then it should be redirected to our home page, and into the position I just returned that one of the view as a welcome page. I already discussed about that things with you. That is our views folder, and in the views folder that is a welcome blade.php. So first of all here it's load that page. So here you can see there is a home page, and for now that is the home page is now visible on here. So that's the URL here. I just defining it. There's a home, and then there is actually our callback. In our callback area I just load our that page. Okay, so which page you want to actually access. And for now I want to create one of the route. Then it should be very much clear to you. Like here I want to create one of the route as a hello. Okay, I just defining as a hello, and in function that means here, and now I just want to return some of the text. Like here I just return some of the text as a hello world. And now if you save it, like here I just click on the save all. Now I want to access this route. So that means that is actually our home route, and after that home I just added one of the text as a hello. Okay, that means that is actually one of the parameter. So for now I just copy it, and now that is our home, and after that I just want to access as a hello. And now if you click on the enter, now you can see it's now showing that message, that means the hello world. So here I only fetch that data for the reasons I am using the get method. And now here if you want to create one of the dynamic route, you can also do that work. Like here for education purposes, pretty much basic things I just sharing with you. Okay, so it should be very much helpful to you. Like here I want to make the things dynamic. Like here I just defining as a user, and now here I want to add another parameter on particular that position. So if you want to add another parameter on here, then you have to add it the second bracket, and into the second bracket here you have to defining the ID. So whatever the things you want to add, you can actually add the things on here. Right now I am defining as the ID. So now we have to actually pass that ID in our this function area. So for now here I just defining as a one of the variable as a ID, and now I want to show it. So here like I just defining as a your, okay, your ID is, and after that I want to concrete it. So here after that I just want to concrete, and then I just want to concrete with this ID. So here I just simply added that ID. And now if you click on the save all, and now if you access this user, and also they have some of the ID, like here I access it as a user, and after that user here I just defining one of the ID. Like here I just defining as a 5, and if you click on the enter, yes, now you can see it's now showing as your ID is the 5. So here I just assign all the parameter as a 5. Okay, so whatever the things you put on particular that position, like here I just defining as a Aryan, and if you click on the enter, now you can see it's now showing as your ID is Aryan. So that is the things you can do, and I also make the things dynamic for the reasons in our function area. First of all I take this ID, and then I just create that ID on particular that position. Here I returned it. Okay, so I hope you can well understand about it. So by default that is our root, and for now I only want to fetch some of the data for the reasons I just using the get method. So laterly I will also show you how can use the post method for inserting the data into the database. How can when you update your data, then you have to use the put method, and also if you want to delete it, then you have to use the delete method. So all that method step by step I will show you with the live example. And also they have the another things, like here in our callback area I just loaded our welcome page, right? So here that is our welcome page is this one. So here I returning that view. You can do the same things with using one of the controller. Like here then you have to do, for now I just delete it in our route. If you want to do that work, then you have to define one of the controller name. For education purpose, I'm defining and here as a controller name. So here should be some of the controller name. Then you have to add it the at the rate, and here you have to assign some of the method. Okay, so into this controller you have to actually create this method. So how can create the controller, and how can create the method, and how can load that page, that means this web page. In our next video I will show you that things with the live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video I already discussed about Laravel route. In this video I will discuss about the controller. What is controller and how can create the controller? First of all, what is the controller? In MVC pattern rule, there have no such direct path in model to view or view to model. For that reason, they need one intermediate media, and this intermediate media is controller. So now let's get started with the code. For finding out the controller, you have to go to the app, and into the app there is HTTP, and into the HTTP you can see there is a controller. So when we install that Laravel, we get by default one of the controllers. So that is a controller.php, and that is a auth. So right now I want to create another new controller. So right now we don't need this, I remove it. We also don't need this, I remove it. Okay. So right now I want to create another controller. For creating the controller, you have to go to that directory. So that is our main directory. In particular, that position I just define as a CMD. And into the CMD, you have to write down as a PHP artisan, then make and controller, and then you have to define your controller name. For educational purpose, here I am creating one of the controller name as a student controller. I am defining as a student controller. Now if you click on the enter, and now here you can see it's now showing as a controller created successfully. So now if you go to our directory, that means here there is a HTTP, there is a controller, and in the controller here you can see there is a student controller is now created. Now into this controller here, first of all, there is a namespace. And namespace is one of the virtual directory, and there is a use the request. So that is actually one of the class. So if you want to access some of the class, then you have to use it. So here with the eliminate and the HTTP, and that is a request. So that is actually one of the by default class is using on particular that position. And then our controller name, that is our student controller that I created, and it's extended with the Laravel default controller as a controller. In our previous video, I already created one of the route, like here you can see there is a get route, and now there is our home route. Now I want to load our welcome page, that means in our view. So that is our welcome page, I want to load it. So here you have to defining as your controller name. So right now I already created one of the controller as this one. For now I just copy it, and now here I just define that our controller name on particular that position. And into this controller I have to create one of the method. So now I want to create one of the method as the index method. So here I just defining as the index. Now this method I have to create in our student controller, that means here. So in particular that position I want to create one of the method as a public, and then function, and here I just defining the index method. So here that is our index method, and in particular that position I want to return that view. So here I just defining as a return. Okay, return, and then view, our view URL I have to assign it. So our page is in our view, and that is a welcome page. So right now I want to defining that things on here. So that is a welcome. So I just defining as a welcome page on particular that position. And now if you click on the save all, like here I just click on the save all, and now if you refresh that page, like here, now I want to access our home directory, and now click on the enter. Yes, now you can see it's perfectly loaded successfully. So how the things exactly work, like here in our web route, here that is for the home route. In our home route I created one of the controller, and I created one of the method, and in our home controller I created that method as an index method. So into this index method I just simply return that page. Okay, so for the reasons it's now automatically loaded when you access the home route, that means the home URL. So in Laravel, you can create controller with two different way. I already discussed about one thing, that is the one of the method of the PHP artisan make controller and the student controller. And also if you want to create some of the resourceful controller, you can also do that work. For doing this, you have to write down as a PHP artisan. and then make, and I just defining as a controller. And now I want to create one of the test controller. Now here I just defining one of the test controller, and now I want to create one of the resourceful controller. For doing this, you have to put the space, then double line, and here you have to define the resource. Okay, I just defining the resource, and now if you click on the enter, now you can see it's now created the controller created successfully. And now if you go to our controller area, now you can see that is actually a test controller. And into the test controller here, you can see by default all that code method is available on here. Like that is for the index method is automatically created. That is the create method is created. So that is the our store method is created. If you want to show it, if you want to edit, that is the edit method is also created on here. That is the update method, and there is a destroy method. So all that method automatically created when you actually create one of the resourceful controller. Rather than you have to write down every controller as your own, like before in our student controller, here I created one of the simple controller. For the reasons here I created that things. Okay, that means the index method. So here is by default automatically ready-made all the things. Like if you want to actually create another route, I will show you. Like here I just copy it, and now I want to create another one. Like here I just defining as a test, and now I want to access one of the another controller, like there is a test controller. So for now I just copy it, and in particular that position I just defining as a test controller. And in our test controller, now I want to access the index method. So now I want to do like here in our index method, that means here that is our test controller index method. In particular that position, first of all I want to display some of the message. Like here I just defining as echo, and here I just defining as this is just for test page. So this type of one of the text I want to visible. Like if you now click on the save all, and now if you want to access this route, that means this one. So now let's check this out, what exactly happened. Like here there is our home, and after that I just defining as a test, and if you click on the enter, yes, now you see it's now redirected to our this message. That means this is the just for the test page. So I hope it should be very much clear to you about the route and the controller. So that is our route, and here I just defining one of the controller name. In our controller here I just defining one of the index method, and into the index method here I just defining one of the echo. So I hope you can well understand about it, how can create two different type of controllers. So that is the resourceful controller, and that is our simple controller. So you can do that work with using that command line. So that is a PHP artisan, and that is simple, and that is for the resources. In our next video, I will discuss about the model. How can create the model and how can migrate it. In our next video, I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I already discussed about that things with you, what is controller and how can create the controller. In this video, I will discuss about how can create the model and how can migrate it. When we install that Laravel, we get by default one of the model in our app folder, that is a user model. And here this user model is used for by default Laravel logging authentication. So that is a by default one of the model. And if you go to the database, and here there is a migration. And here you can see there is actually all that by default. That is a create password, that is a one of the migration as a create user table, and that is a create fail job. So that's all that by default. When you install that Laravel, you get two of these things. There is a migrations, and there is the user. And right now, first of all, I want to create one of the model, and also I want to migrate it. For doing this, first of all, you have to go to your command line, and now that is our path, that means our htdocs, and that is our main block. That means this route. Okay. So first of all, here you have to go on particular that position, and now into this position I want to create one of the model. Like here, if you want to write a model, then you have to write down as a PHP artisan and make, and then model. Okay, I just defining as a model, and now I want to create one of the model as a student model. So here I just define as a student. Okay, I just defining as a students model, and also I want to migrate it. So here you have to define as a line, and then I just define as a m. So now if you click on the enter, he will be create two things. One is the model as a student model. So this the model will be saved on particular that position, and also I defining as a m, that means the migration. So it should be also created another file into the migration area. Now let's check this out. I just click on the enter. Now here you can see it's now creating the model created successfully. So here that is our model as the students model, and also I created another migration. So that is our migration file is loaded on here. You can see there is a create students table. I hope you can well understand about it. So now if you open it, like that is the by default one of the things, like that is one of the table as a ID, and that is a table. So I already created one of the database, like here if you go to that position, so I already created one of the database. Right now I want to create some of the table. So how much easily you can do that work in Laravel, I will show you step by step each and everything. I hope will be very much clear to you. So right now for this project, I want to create one of the code application, and for this code I want to create one of the table as a students table, and here I also want to assign some of the field. Like in particular that position, better I just copy it, and here I want to take some of the field. Okay, like here better I just put as a same line, and here there is a table, and first of all I just define one of the field as a fast name. So I just defining as a fast underscore name, and now here this field I just put that things as a string, that means the character. Okay, and also better I just copied, and now I want to take another one, and here I just name it as a last name, and now I also want to take another field for the email or the phone. So I just define two of these for the email, and also I want to take another one for the phone. Okay, I just defining as a phone. So this phone will be the string. So email I just also put the things as a string, that means all the character. Okay, and that is actually by default the time spent, so it should be automatically created one of the date format when this actually created. So now it's perfect. Here I just defining one of the table as a student table, and into the student table I want to create some of the field. Like there is our first name field, there is a last name field, there is an email field, and the phone. So I hope you can well understand about it. And now I want to migrate it. Okay, so if you migrate it, then it's automatically created one of the table on particular that position. Let's check this out. I just click on the save all, and now go to your command line, and here you have to write down as a PHP artisan and migrate, migrate, migrate is perfect. And now here I click on the enter. So here it's showing some of the error, like here there is a pretty much common error. Okay, we can see there is syntax error, access valent as a specific key too long. So it's very much common error, like yeah, if you copy it, and now if you go to the data Google, and here if you search it, like here you can see there is there is common. So here you get some of the resources, like there is actually one of the resources in GitHub, like open it, and here you can see there are some of the instructions, like you have to go to the app providers and the app service providers. So you have to actually update some of the things, like here if you go to your page, like here there is an app, that means here there is an app, and then you have to go to the providers, and there is an app service providers. Okay, so here you can see you have to go on particular that page area first, and into these positions, like if you open it, and here you can see there is a service provider is added, so you have to also use another class, like here this one. So I just copied, and now I just added that class on particular that position. And also you have to update one things, like there is in our boot method, here you have to assign that one. So I just copied, and here there is a register, there is a boot. In our boot method you have to add that things. Okay, so that's all you have to do. Like here there is register application. So that's all. I think it should be work, because before I already faced this type of problem. So now let's check this out. I just click on the save all, and when you actually migrate, like here I already migrated. Okay, so some of the by default one of the table automatically created the field. Like if you go to our database, like here if you now click on the structure, now you see by default there's migration for the user table, As I told you, when you install that Laravel, we get by default one of the model as a user. So right now it's automatically added. So right now I just select two of these, and now first of all I just put that things as a drop it, click on the enter. Okay, so now I want to do that work again. So first of all I just click on the save all, and now I want to migrate it again. Like here I just define as a PHP artisan and then migrate. And now if you click on the enter, yes, now you can see is migration table created successfully. So all the table is now perfectly now created. And now if you go to the database, and now if you click on the refresh, yes, you can see that is our users table. So that's all actually by default one of the table. So right now we don't need this. I created this table as a student, and into the student table I already created some of the field. And here you can see there is a first name, there is a last name field, there is email, and there is a phone. So that's all I actually created in particular that position. Okay, I hope you can well understand about it. So we created one of the models, so that is actually our student model, and also I created one of the migrated, and into the migrate here whatever the field you want to add, then you can add that things on particular that position. And after that I just put that things as a migrate. So now it's perfectly migrated and create the database table as the students and with all that our field. So now I want to insert some of the data, like I want to insert the first name, the last name, email, phone from our home page. Like if you go to that our home page, and here I already created one of the add button, that means the add new. So into the add new area I want to create another page as a create page, and from the create page I want to insert all the data. So how can do that work step by step? I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In a previous video, I already discussed about that things with you, how can create the model and how can migrate it. And I also created one of the table as a students, and also I assigned some of the field, like if you go to the our database, so I created one of the table as a students, and here all that our field. So right now I want to create one of the create page, and from to the create page I want to insert all the data like first name, last name, email and phone. So for doing this, first of all, we have to create one of the page, that means the create page. Like here, right now we don't need this. I just remove it, and that is our app service providers. So we also don't need this. There is a test controller. Right now I remove it. Okay. So that is main. There is a welcome. So now first of all, I want to create one of the route for this create. Like here, better I just copy it. Okay. So that's all our education purpose. I'm using it, and now here I just paste it. In particular that position I want to create one of the route as a create. Okay, I just defining as a create, and now in our student controller now I want to create one of the method as a create method. Okay, I just defining as a create method, and also here better I want to assign some of the name for these two. Like here I just define that name on here. I just define that name for this one as a home. Okay, I just define that name as a home, and for this one I just define that name. I just define it for this one as a create. So here I just define as a create, and now that is I define as a home. So now we have to work in our student controller, and we have to create this method as a create method. So now go to the student controller here. So now I want to create another method. Like here I just define as a public, and then function, and then our method name create. So here I just define that create method. In particular that position I also want to load another page. Like before I load that welcome page, right now I want to actually create another page for the create, and for that I want to load it. Like here I just define that return, and the view, in our view folder I have to create one of the page as a create. Okay, I just define that create on particular that position. So now that's all you have to do. So now we have to create this page, that means the create page in our view area, that means in our view. So here I just click on the new file, click on the save as, and I just name it as a create.blade.php. Okay, I hope you can well understand about it. And for education purpose here, it should be just like our welcome. Like better I just copy it. Okay, I just copy it and I just paste on particular that position here. I already discussed about that things with you. I want to extend that our main class. Okay, and into the main class, so that is I define one of the ID, that means the content ID. So on particular that position I just define as a create page. So I just defining as a create page. Now let's check this out. I just click on the save all. So I already created one of the route for this one as a create, that means the slash and the create, and in our student controller I define that method, and into the method here you can see I just defining our page, that means in our view folder, that is our create page, that means this view, and that is our create page. Now if you access it, like here I just define slash create, and if you click on the enter, yes, now you see only this content path is actually changed. So their header actually will be the same, that our footer will be the same, only that create part will be different. So now here I want to add some of the material design bootstrap on here. For now, I want to add one of the form for this one. Like now, first of all, I want to actually design that page. Okay. So right now I remove it. So first of all, I want to designing it. So better I just go to the MD5. That means mdbootstrap.com. As I told you, all the things you get from here, like go to here, and now I want to add some of the forms. Like here, there is actually the form, and now there is actually basic example. And in our basic example, here you can see there is some of the fields because we need some of the field. So there is all that code. Because here we have some of the field as a first name, last name, email, and phone. Okay, so this one is pretty good. Better I just take this one, like there is a first name, last name. I just put that things as an email, and there is a password. So I will change it. Our phone number is also available on here. So it's perfect. So for now, I just want to take that all code. You can see there is all that codes. For now, I just copy it, and in our create page here, in particular that position. After that, better I just paste it. So now let's check this out. If you click on the save all, and now if you refresh that page, like here I just refresh it. Yes, now you see there is a our field, the first name field, last name field, email field, there is password. So right now we don't need that password, only I need that phone number. There is the sign in, we also don't need this. So I just want to customize it as per our demand. Okay, and so if you go to that position, that is actually the sign in, and after that sign in, that is actually sign in, after that or sign up. So here we don't need this, so better I just remove it from here. Okay, I just remove all the things from to this position, and that's by clicking. I also don't need this, I remove it. And there is a button, that is a true optional. Let's check this out. There is a subscript to the newsletter, we also don't need this, and that means this level. So here I just remove that div, and also there is a optional authentication. So there is a optional authentication, I remove it. So that is actually our phone field, so this field will be needed. Okay, like I just click on the save all. If you now refresh it, yeah, you can see all the things is now gone from here. And also there is a password field, so right now I don't need use that password field. So that is actually the password. So you can see there is an input field, so I remove it also from here. Perfect. Now I just click on the save all, and if you now refresh it, yeah, now you can see there is actually our first name, last name, email, and phone. So I only want to insert all the data from here to in our database field area, like that is our database table, first name, last name, email, and phone. Perfect. And also here I want to update that name, and that is also some of the text on particular that position. So if you go here, there is actually the sign up. Okay, so I just want to add as a add data, add student. I just define as a add student, and also here I defining as a add data. So here I just defining it, click on the save all, and now if you refresh it, yeah, now you see there is a add student, there is a add data. Perfect. And also actually you can see there is actually totally white, that is the full white. I also want to add one of the bootstrap class, like here On particular that position, I want to add one of the bootstrap class. I just take one of the div, okay, and here I just define one of the class, and I just define one of the container, one of the class, that is one of the class of bootstrap. Okay, I just define as a container class, and now I want to finish that div and on here. So I just finish it. Now click on the save all, and now if you refresh that page, yes, now you can see it's now actually looking pretty good. And also in our navbar, I added one of the home, and that is also I created another page as a add new. For right now, I don't put any link on particular that position. So that is in our navbar. So I just want to put some of the link. Like if you go to the layouts and there is a navbar, and in our navbar here you can see there is a home. So for now, I want to assign some of the URL. Like for the home, I already created one of the route as a for this one. That means this one is for our home, and then this one is for our create page, right? So now I want to add two of these. Like here you have to define the second bracket, that means double second bracket, and in particular that position I just define the URL. Okay, I just define that URL on particular that area. I just define as a home directory. So here I just define as a home, and this one is for our create. So I just do the same things, URL, and here I define on particular that position as a slash, and after the slash I create one of the route as a create. So here I just copy it, and after the slash then the create. Perfect. So here I just define two of this link. Now let's check this out. I just click on the save all, and now if you refresh that page, now if you click on the home, it will be redirected to our home page, and if you click on the add new, yes, you can see now it's redirected to our add new page. So as I told you, for the reasons I just make the things as a segment, that our neighbor area, that is our footer area, only that content area you can see it's only the changing. Like if you go the home, our neighbor is same, footer is the same, only that content part is become changed. For the reasons I just define that things on here. Okay, like if you go to the create, and here you can see that I just define on the selection, and first of all I just define that layout in our main, and in our main which part will be the dynamic. So for the reasons I just define as the yield, and for the yield here I just define as the content ID. For the reasons here you can see I just define that section content ID on here, and also in our home page here I also define the section, and here I just define that ID. For the reasons only this part is become changed. Like if you go to the add new, you can see this part is become changed. So now I want to insert the data, like that is all that our field. So here if you put the first name, the last name, the email address, and the phone number, and if you click on the add data, then all the data will be saved in our database table on particular that position. So how can do that work? In our next video I will show you that things with the live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In a previous video, I already discussed about that things with you, how can create the create page. So first of all, here I design our create page. Now I want to do, if you put your first name, last name, email and phone number, and if you click on the add data, all the data will be stored in our database table. That means on particular that position. So how can do that work? In this video, I will show you that things with a live example. So for doing this, first of all, we have to create one of the route for this one. Like if you go to the route area, like here, I just copy it, okay, and now I paste it. As I told you before, when you want to insert some of the data, then you have to use that post method. So right now I want to insert some of the data. For the reasons you have to define as a post method. So I just define as a post. Okay, and then this URL will be the same in our create, and in our student controller now I want to store all the data. For the reasons I just define one of the another method as a store. Okay, I just define as a method as a store, and this name I just call as a store. So here I just defining as a store on particular that position. And then we have to work in our create page, that means on here. So first of all, that all that our input field, like that is our name field, that is our last name, that is our email and phone. So here first of all I just want to put some of the name for this field. Like here I just define that name, okay, and I just name it as a first name. Okay, I just define as a first name, and also this one for the last name. So here I just define that name, and here I just define as a last name, and then this one is the email. So here I just define that name, I just name it as email, and also this one is the phone, so I just define that name as a phone. Okay, so here I just define all that, first of all that name. And now we have to add some of the action in our form, like they have some of the form, and into the form they have some of the action. So here we have to add some of the actions, like when you should be insert the data, where exactly it should be redirected. I already created one of the route for this one, like there is a method as the store method. So in your store method I just name it with the store, right? So now I just put that route, so on particular that position. So here I just define that route, like here the route, okay, and here I just define that route as name as a store. So for the reasons I just define as a store. For the reasons actually I am using that name, so for now actually I can access that route with this store name. So for the reasons I just define that route and store. And now I also have to do, I have to add the method, because here I also already added the method as a post method, so we have to also defining it on here. Like here I just define that method and it should be the post method. So here I just defining as a post method. I hope you can well understand about it, what exactly the things I want to do. So that's all we have to do on particular that positions. Like here when he'll be add that, that means submit that data. So in our form here I just put some of the action, it should be redirected to our store method, and here it should be the post. So if you go to the route, here you can see there is a post method and it should be redirected to our store method. So now we have to do, we have to work in our store method. So I have to add that store method in our student controller. So now go to our student controller, and here I want to create new method, like as a public, public, and then function, and here our method name as a store. Okay, I just defined that our store method. I hope it's very much clear to you what exactly the things I want to do on particular that position. And in our store method, first of all, you have to do, you have to get that request. So here I just define that request, and also here I just take that things with one of the variable as a request. Okay, I just defining as a request. So it's by default. I already discussed about that things with you when you actually create one of the resourceful controller. Like here, if you go to that HTTP and here there is a controller, I already created one of the resourceful controller. And here you can see in our resources controller there is a request, and request is automatically ready-made on particular that positions. So right now I am actually creating one of the simple controller for the student controller. For the reasons I just name it as a request, and that is actually the request. So now in particular that position, first of all I want to validate it. Like here I just define as a these, okay, these, and here I just define the validation, that means the validate. Okay, I just define that validate with this request. So here I just define that request. Okay, it means first of all I want to actually validate all the data. Like if this field is empty, then it should be show some of the message. If this last name will be the empty, then it should be also show some of the message. So first of all I just make that all that field as a required. Okay, so for the reasons I just define some of the validations. So how can create it, I will show you. Like here I just have to define it with the array, with the array here. I just defining it, like here I have to define all that field. Like first of all here I have to define our first name. So I already assigned the name on here, that is the first name. So here I just define that first name, and first name I just defining it as a required. So I just defining as a required, and also better I just copy it because I want to make all that field as a required. So that should be the first name, and also there is a last name. So I just define that last name field will be the required. Phone email will be the required. So here I just define that email, and also another field as a phone. So I also make the things as a required. So all the things will be required, and here I just defining add that things with the array, and for the array in the last you don't need to add the comma. Okay, so for the reasons I just remove it from here. And now after that I want to add our model. Like here I just take one of the variable as a student. Okay, I just define one of the variable, and here I just create one of the object for this student model. So here I just define that student model on particular that position. So if you use that model, then you have to also use it. So here you have to use it, like here I use Okay, use with our app folder and then our student. So here I just define our student model on particular that position. I hope you can well understand about it. It is our app, and here you can see that is one of the student models. So that is our student model. And now I want to actually first of all as pass that all the things with this student. Like here with this student, I just define that our first name. Okay, I just define our first name. That means our database field name. So our database, I just defining as a, if you go to the better structure. So our field name as a first name, so I just copy it. Now here with this student, I just define our this one as a first name. Okay, and then I defining it with this request. That means here with this request, I just put that on here. So with this request, I just defining our field name. Our field name is I defining as a first name. So here I just defining the first name. So, and I also have to do the same things because here I want to save all the data. So here I just defining it. So it should be our database field name. So our database for the last name, I just defining as a last name. Okay, so here I just defining the last name, and with this request it should be matched with our field name. So that means here I just defining our field name as a last name, right? I already validate all the things on particular that position. So here I just defining that last name, and then our database field name as email ID. Okay, so here there is email, and that is also as email, and database field as a phone. So here with this student, I just defined as a phone, and here I just passed with the request as a phone. Perfect. And after that, I want to save it. So for now, with this student variable, like here I just define a student. So with this student, I want to save it. So here I just define that save all the data. I hope you can well understand about it. And after that save data, where exactly it should be redirected. Okay, it means if you actually insert the first name, last name, all the data, and if you click on the add data, and when the data will be inserted, if you want to redirect it to the another page, you can also do that work. And also I want to display some of the message like all the student data inserted successfully. So this type of also I want to visual some of the message. So first of all he will be saved, and after that save I want to redact it. So here I just define that return and then redact. Okay, and the redact, and here I have to define that route. So I want to do like after that save data it should be redirected to our home directory. That means here. Okay, so for now I just defining as a home, and here I just defining first of all our route. Okay, our route, and in our route here I want to actually assigning it as a home. You can see I just name it as a home because that is will be our main URL. That means the home URL, and I just name it as a home. For now I just defining it on here. Okay, so for the reasons I just define that route as a home route, it should be redirected. And also I want to do like that is actually we have to finish it. So that is one bracket, and that is our out bracket. Perfect. And after that, if you want to show some of the message, I also want to do that things when this data will be inserted, then it should be also show with some of the message. So for the reasons here I just define one of the Laravel function as a with I also want to show some of the message. For the reasons here I just defining one of the variable as a success. Okay, success message. So, and here I just defining some of the message, which message it should be visible. Like here it should be visible as a student successfully added. So I think step by step it should be very much clear to you what exactly the things I did on particular that position. So here that's all. I just save that data, and after that save, here I just return to our home page and with some of the message. So which message? That means the student successfully added message. And here I added some of the successful message. So laterally I will show you how can show that message with this variable. Okay, so in our home page, that means welcome, we have to actually visible that message. So how can do that work? I will continue this process, and in our next video I will show you that things with the live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I already discussed about that things with you, how can create the store method, and here I just defining some of the required field, and also I added our model, that means the student model. Here I created one of the object, and with this student here I save all the data, that means all field that data. Okay, and after that save data, here I also added one of the redirect, so it should be redirect to our home route. So here I just defining our home route on particular that position. If you go to the our route, and here you can see for the home I just defining that name as a home. So for the reasons here I just defining the route as a, it should be redirected to our home route, and with also some of the message. So here I defining one of the success message ID, and that is our message. So now I want to actually display that message in our home page, and in our home I already declare it. Like here if you go to the route in our student controller, that is our index method. Okay, and into the index method what exactly I redirected, in our index method I just redirected to our welcome page. And your welcome page on particular that position I want to visible it. Like here right now I don't need this, I remove all the things from here. And in particular that position, first of all you have to define one of the if condition. Okay, like I just take one of the if condition, and here I want to do that work with the session. Like here I just define the session, and into the session here I have to define that ID. So where I just with, like here I just defining that with ID, so this one. So for now I just copy it, and particular that position I paste it. And also now we have to AND it. Like here I just AND our if condition on particular that area, and now on here I want to take one of the tape. Like he should be display some of the alert. Like here I want to add some of the success alert. Like if you go to that bootstrap form, like here you also get that component. Like here if you go to the component, and there is an alert component, so if you click on here, and for the alert right now I want to use this one, that means that is actually the green. Okay, so that is actually success, that means 3. So that is also all the day 1 2 3, that means this one I just copy it. Okay, I just copy it, and now here I paste on particular that position. So now in particular that area I want to actually show that session. So here I just defining that section. Okay, I just defining that session, and here I want to display that message ID. So here our message, so I just defining it on particular that area. I hope you can well understand about it. And also one thing, like if you go to that our create page, here I defining the route, and there is actually post method. So if you want to insert that data here, you have to also add the things with the CSRF field. Like here I want to add it on particular that positions. Like here I just define the CSRF, and here I just define the CSRF underscore field. Okay, I just define the CSRF field on particular that position. So without this CSRF field, he will be not inserted all the data. That means all that name data, he will be not inserted. For the reasons here, I just added that our CSRF field on particular that position. So now let's check this out. Our data is inserted or not. Click on the save all. So here I just click on the save all, and now if you go to our page, like here I just refresh it. Okay, for now here I just defining as a Kazi, and then last name I just defining as a Aryan, and email ID I just define as a kazi@gmail.com, and I just put some of the phone number, and now click on the add data. So now here it's showing as a app student not found. Student, let's check this out. Like here I already added one of the object as the student model. I also added that student. Like if you go to the controller, and here you can see that I'm actually using the students, so I just rename it better. I just name it as a student because I call it as a student. Okay, so for now I just rename it as a student. So now that is actually the student model, so I just change it, and now I just click on the save all. So that's our student model. I just defining as a student, and here that is our student. Perfect, so now it should be work. Now I just click on the go back, and now here I just refresh it again, and if you browse it, okay, perfect. Now I just click on the Kazi, and now I just define as the Aryan and Kazi@gmail.com, and here I just define the phone number. So this type of one of the phone number, and now I just click on the add data. Yes, now you can see that student successfully added. So if you go here and now if you click on the browse, yes, now you can see the first name is visible, the last name is visible, email ID is also visible, and phone number. So we successfully insert all that our data in our database field. I hope you can well understand about it. So we did some of the mistakes, so that the student, so I just defining name as a student. So I change it, or also make that sure you are changing that name, that is student model. So perfect. So now it's perfectly work. Like here I want to insert again, like here is the add data. Now I just define as a John, and here I just define as a John Ma. Here the John @gmail.com, and I just put some of the phone number, and now click on the add data. Yes, now you can see it's now showing as a student successfully added. So that is the message I just set up on here, and I hope you can well understand about it. So that is our message ID, and that is the message. So after that redirected in our home page, I just display that message with the alert success. For the reasons it's now visible on here. And also one things like here I also added some of the validation. Okay, so if you also want to show that all that validation error, so that the things will be visible in our particular that position, that means in our create page. So now I want to work in our create page on here, like up into this position. Okay, I just do that work on here. Better I just define first of all one of the if condition, like I just define if condition, and here I just add and that if, and here I just define the and if. And now in our if condition, first of all I just take one of the variable like as a errors. Okay, and for the errors I want to do for the every message, like here I just define that any. So here I just defining as a any on here, and I also want to do that work without using the for each, like here I just define as a for each. Okay, because it should be the looping. For the reason size is defining as a for each on here. And now with this variable, so here I just define with this variable I just defining as a all, and I just defining all as error. Okay, so I just make the things as a simple. So for now I want to actually also show some of the alert message. Like if you go to that alert, right now I want to need this danger alert, so that is actually the danger alert. So I just copy that div. So here I just copy that the danger, and in particular that position I just paste it on particular that area. So now we have to and that for each. So here I just defining as the and for each. Okay, I just defining an and for each, and in particular that position I only want to print this error. So here I just copied, and in particular that position I just simply added print that error. So I hope you can well understand about it. It is actually the one of the default, one of the format to display that error. And here I just defining if errors any. That means if we get any error, then it should be show on particular that position with this variable. Okay. And also here I just defining the error with the all. That means some of the times is multiple field will be the blank. Okay. Like here if you go here, like here I just make that things first name and the last name as a blank, and I just only put that email address and the phone number. So if for the reasons here I just defining it as a all. So for the multiple field he will be get all that error data, and here I just define the error, that means the all error data. Okay, so for the reasons here I just define two of these, and here I just define the for each. In your for each I just define call as error, and here I just simply display that error. Now let's check this out, our field validation is working or not. And here in our controller I already assigned that validation for all that field is required. So for now let's check this out. I just click on the save all, and now I just refresh it, and here is showing unexpected and if what exactly the things I did wrong, like here and if condition, there is a for each. You can see I just put that spelling mistake again, there is a for each, EACH. Okay, so for the reasons actually get that error. Now I just click on the save all, there is for each, and down here there is if and down here. Now click on the save all, and now if you refresh it, yes, perfect. So now I just put that field as empty, and now if you click on the add data, Yes, now you can see he get all that error. So that is the first name is required, that is the last name is required, email field is required, and phone is required. For the reasons here, I just defining as a all. Okay, he will get all that multiple field error, and he will get and print that things on particular that position. I hope you can well understand about it. It's perfectly get all that error. Like here, I is defining as a Kazi, sorry, as a Jack. I is defining as a Jackma, and for now I just make the things email as a blank. Okay, and I just put some of the phone number. Now click on the add data. Yes, you can see there is an email field is required, so you have to also add that email field. So now I just define as a Jack and then ma, and here I just define the Jack at the rate gmail.com, and I just put some of the phone number, and I click on the answer data. Yes, you can see that the student successfully added. So I hope you can well understand about it, and if you browse it, all the data is perfectly inserted in our database table. So in our code application, I already complete our insert data. So in our next video, I will show you how can read all the data and visible that things in our home page. And after that, how can edit it and how can update that data and how can delete it. Step by step, I will cover each and everything with you with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I already discussed about that things with you, how can insert all the data in our database table from our create page. So from this page here, if you put your first name, last name, email address, phone, and after that, if you click on the add data, then all the data will be saved in our database table, right? So now I want to visible all the data in our front page. That means here. And here I also put some of the conditions like when this data will be saved. After that, it should be redirected to our home page. Like if you go to that controller in our store controller, I assign it. After saving that data here, I just put the return redirect to our home. So it should be redirected to our home page. And if you go to our route, and here you can see that is our home, and for the home here I just define our controller name in student controller, that is index method. Now if you go to that student controller, like here I already define it, here I already define our index method, and into the index method I simply load that our welcome page, right? So that means this, so that is our welcome page. And now I want to read all that our database data. So all the data I want to visible it in our home page. Okay, that means that is actually our home page. So in that position I want to visible all the data. So how can do that work? In this video I will show you that things with a live example. For doing this better, I already here using one of the material design bootstrap. So now I want to use one of the table. So for doing this is pretty much easy. Like here there is the MD bootstrap. I already discussed about that things with you. And here you also get one of the table content. Like here there is an option for the table. So now I just click on the table, and into the table here there is a basic example. So now I just select as a basic example. And into the basic example here you get a lot of the style, like there is also one of the style you can use it. So there is all that code, and also there is another table head options. So it's pretty much cool, and you can also find out different type of one of the table on here. So right now better I want to actually use this one. So that is actually the one of the head area, and all that our data will be visible like that way. So for now, first of all, here I want to copy all that code. Okay, so I just copy all that code, and now I want to visual it in our welcome plate. And after that, if here before that section, so in particular that position, I just simply paste it. So right now that's all that static data. Like if you click on the save all, and now if you refresh that page, like I just refresh it. Yes, now you can see all that static data and table format is now visible on here. So it's pretty much interactive on things. For now, I just copy all the things from here. There is also Bootstrap class. So that's all that actually Bootstrap class. Before I already added all that our Bootstrap material, all the CSS and JSS code in our page. And now it's visible like that way. And better, it's actually full white. So I just want to add one of the Bootstrap class as a container. Like here on particular that position. Okay, like after that I contain here, and here I just define one of the div, and in particular that position I just define one of the class, and here I just define that class as a container. Okay, I just define all the bootstrap class, and now I want to end it. So I just start that div, and after that table I just finish it. Now let's check this out. I just click on the save all, and now if you refresh that page, yeah, now you see it's now onto the center, and now it's a little bit closer. So right now that's all that static data. So here I want to read all the data from our database table with our all that field, and I want to visible it on particular that position. For doing this, we don't need actually static data. I only need that field. Like here, that is actually our first field, and that is another tier. So I only want to take one. We don't need this. I just that is actually table. That is our last container depth. So here I just remove it, and also there is a tier. I don't need this. I only want to take one tier. Okay, like here I only want to take one. So there is a one tier. So here I want to make the things now dynamic, and dynamically I just want to get all the data from our database reveal, and I just want to visual it on here. So first of all, here I have to assign all that our field, like there is a our database all that field. If you go here, we have to visible our first name, the last name, email, and the phone. So now here I just define that all the th means the table head. So this one for the number, here I just define the first name and the last name, and here I just define as the email, and also I want to take another two, like here this one is for the phone, and also I want to take another table head for the action, like for the edit or delete. Okay, and now there is actually all that our tier. Now we have to also assign the td. So here there is a 3 6 actually. So here 1 2 3 4. So here I have to assign 2. Okay, so here I assign 2 of this on here. So now if you click on the save all, and now if you refresh it, like here I just refresh it. So now here you can see there is only one data, one static data is now visible on here. So now here I want to get all the data from our this table. So how can do that work? It's pretty much easy. For doing this, we have to work in our controller. Like here, if you go to our student controller, and here you can see I just returned that page on particular that position. That is actually the welcome. And now here I want to get all the data from our database table by our model. So for doing this, first of all, here you have to define one of the variable. Like here I just define as the students. Okay, I just define one of the variable as the students, and now I have to define our student model, and here I want to get all. So I just define as a all on particular that position. It means you will get all the data from our student table. Okay, that means if you go to our student, so here you will get all the data from this position. I hope you can well understand about it. For the reasons here I just define as a student all, and now here I get all the data from our database table. Now I have to pass that in our welcome page, right? So if you want to pass it, then you can do that work with using the compact. So here you have to define it as a compact, and into the compact, with this compact you can actually pass all the data. So here I get all the data and take that things with this variable, right? So now I have to actually pass that in our compact area. So with the compact, now I pass that student all the data in our welcome page. I hope you can well understand about it. So now we can actually access that student in our welcome page. That means here. So now I have to actually iterate all that field on particular that position. So here, first of all, I just take one of the for each. Like here, I just define as a @ for each. And now I just take all the things, I just compact it in our positions with the students. Okay, so here with the students, for now I just copy it, and now here I want to actually for each all the data. So with this students, I just call as student. Okay, I just define as a student. And now with this student, you can actually iterate all that your database field. And now first of all, that is actually the for each. So better I just want to finish that for each before the td. So here I just define as the and. Okay, and for each I just defining it on particular that position. And now with this student, so here with this student, like first of all there is actually the id. So here I want to display that id with that student. and here I have to define our database field ID. So our database field ID, if you go here, there is actually the ID, then the first underscore name, there is a last underscore name, the email and phone. So now I want to actually visible it. So here, first of all, I just want to define that ID for that hash, and then I have to define our first name. So on particular that position with that student, okay, with that student, I want to now visible our first name, that means the first underscore name. So here I just defining it underscore name, and also I have to do the same things for the last name. So here I just defining it like for the student, and now here I just defining the last underscore name. Okay, so if you go to that position, so you can see that is the last underscore name, the email and the phone. So here better I just copy it, and now in particular that position I paste it. So this one will be for our email, and here this one after that email, then the phone. So here I just define the phone. Okay, so make that sure there is actually our database field. So in our database here you can see there is actually the phone, there is the email, last name. So I just added all the things, and this one is for the action. So I will do that work later. Right now I just put as a edit. Okay, and here I just define one of the delete. So this type of one of the text, I will also create one of the button on particular that position for this one. So now let's check this out. That's all you have to do. So now if you click on the save all, okay, I just click on the save all, and now I want to refresh that page. Like here I refresh it. Yes, now you can see there is a Kazi is first name, the last name, email address, phone number. So right now they have the three data in our database. Here you can see there is actually the three data, and all the data is now perfectly visible on particular that position. I think it's very much clear to you how much easily you can read all the data and visible that things in your page. And here I just defining as a for each, and if that is students, I just call with as a student. So with this student, I just simply add our database all that field, and now it's perfectly visible on here. In our next video, I will discuss about that edit and update option. Like if you want to update your phone number, email address, last name, and the first name, how can do that work? In our next video, I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I already discussed about that things with you, how you can read all that your database table and visible all the data on particular that position. And right now it's perfectly visible on here. And I also added one of the action for the edit at the delete. So in this video, I will discuss about that edit option. Like if you click on the edit, then it will be redirected to the edit page, and our edit page will be just like our create page. And first of all, I want to visible all the data, like that is actually ID, first ID data will be visible on particular that position with the first name, last name, email address, and the phone number. And after that I will update it. I hope you can well understand about it, because here you can see there is a one ID data, there is a two ID data, there is a three ID data. So when you click on the edit for the three ID, so all the three ID name, email address, phone number will be visible. So how can do that work? In this video I will show you that things with the live example. For doing this, first of all, here I just added one of the text as edit or delete. So I want to actually, for better look here, I want to add one of the Fafa edit. Then it should be better. Okay, I want to add some of the icon for this one. Like if you go to the Google and if you add it as a Fafa edit icon, and here there is a Fafa pencil square. So now I just open it. So that is actually one of the icon. You can see that is actually the icon. For now I just copy it, and here I just assign it in our home plate. So if you go to our home page, that means here I defining that text. Okay, so right now I want to actually add it first of all one of the link, then it will be better. Like here I just added one of the a headif. Okay, I just define one of the a headif, and here in particular that position I just added that icon. So now if you click on the save all, and now if you refresh it, it's not visible because here we have to add one of the bootstrap CDN. Okay, then it should be visible. One of the, like here if you search with the bootstrap, like there is a bootstrap font awesome CDN, you have to actually assign it, Like here you have to first of all go to that link, and here there is actually the font awesome CSS, and here if you go to that positions, like there is the HTML. Right now I just copy it. Okay, I just copy that link, and now I want to go our main. Like here I assign it in our layout, and in our layout there is a neighbor. I added that things in our main blade. So here, so you can see in our main blade I assign one of the font use, and now on particular that position I also want to add that bootstrap CDN. Like here there is a font or some CDN, I just assign that things on particular that position. So for now I just click on the save all, and now if you refresh that page again, like I just refresh it. Yes, now you can see it's now perfectly visible on here. So that is actually one of the bootstrap CDN class. Okay, there is a font or some CDN class, so you have to actually add that things. So I hope you can well understand about it. And now also I want to add the for the delect. So for the delect also they have another one is a Fafa delect. Okay, Fafa delect, and now I just click on the enter, and here if you go to that Fafa delect, let's check this out. So that is the delect. So I want to actually not you want to use that one. I want to use one of the trash. Like here if you get that things from to this position, like if you search that with the trash, control F and trash, like tr, and here you can see there is actually the trash. So I want to actually use this one, so this one will be better. So here I just copy it, and now go to our page, that means the welcome page. So that is for our edit page, and now here I just want to add it a very fast, and in particular that position I want to add another one. So that is for our trash for the delete. Okay, now click on the save all, and now if you refresh it again, I refresh it. Yeah, now you see there is a edit and there is a delete. And also if you want to make the things little bit highlighted, you can also do that work. They have one of the bootstrap class, like in our A, here I just define one of the class, and in particular that position this class name is a btn raised. If you know little bit the bootstrap, then you can well understand about it. And then the btn primary and btn sm. So here I just define as a sm. So it will increase this button style little bit highlighted. Like here if you click on the save all, and now if you refresh that again, yes, now you see it's now become very attractive. And also I want to add the class for the our delete. For now go to that position, and here that is a class. I just copy it, and now here that is our trash, and in particular that position I added that class. Okay, like here I just added that class on particular that position, and for the delete here I just define as a danger. Now let's check this out. I just click on the save all. So there is a btn rise, btn danger, btn. Okay, so that is also one of the bootstrap class. Like click on the refresh. Yeah, perfect. Now you see that is actually the edit button, and now that is our delete button. So I hope you can well understand about it. Now I don't need this. I remove all the things from here, and now here I want to do, if you click on the edit, then it should be redirected to our edit page with this ID. So for doing this, first of all we have to create one of the route for this one. Like go to our route area, like that is our web, and here I want to create another one. Like here I just want to define as a get method, so I just better copy it, and particular that position I want to create one of the route as edit. Okay, I just define that edit, and it should be edit with the ID. So for the reasons here I just define that ID. Here I just define another parameter as ID, and in our student controller I have to create one of the method as edit method. Like here I just define as the edit. Okay, and now I just define the page name as edit, and after that edit I will also update it. So I just make the things on here. So here I just defining it as an update, and update will be the post method. So for the reasons here I just defining as a post, I just define as an update. Okay, it will be also updated with the ID. For the reasons here I just assign the ID, and in our student controller I have to create on the update method. So here I just define that update, and I just name it as a update. Perfect. And now I want to do, first of all I want to actually assign that edit in our this route. Like here I created that in our home page. I put some of the link. Okay, so here I just added that route on particular that position with the ID. So for doing this here, I just defining as a route, and route here I just define that route name as edit, and here I just define that edit, and it should be edit with the ID, because here you can say just defining there is the edit, and after that edit they have one of the ID. That means this ID, if you go to that positions, like you can see there is actually one of the ID. So it will be updated by the ID. For the reasons I have to do, I have to assign that ID in our this link. Like if you go here in our home, there is edit, and after that I want to update that ID with this ID. So here I already assigned that ID as the student ID, and this ID is now visible in our page. Like here you can see there is actually one ID, two ID, three ID. So for now I just define that ID on particular that position. Okay, so here I just define that ID, and now if you click on the save all, then you'll be well understand about it. Like I just click on the save all, and now I just want to refresh it. And now if you put your cursor on particular that position, here you can see it's now showing as a block, and then the edit and the one ID, and then there is a two ID, and also there is a three ID. I hope you can well understand about it. So now if you click on the edit, then it should be redirected to the one other page as the edit page. So here I want to create one of the edit page in our view. Like here I want to create, and now click on the save as, and I just name it as edit at dot blade dot php. Okay, so now I just save it, and as I told you, our edit page will be just like our that is actually create page. Okay, it should be just like our create page, and I will customize it. Like here if you go to our create page, so that is our create. So for now I just copy whole things. Okay, I just copy whole things from here, and now I want to add the things in our edit blade.php page. And here first of all I want to visible all that our data in this field area with the value. So before doing this I have to find out that a specific ID data. So here if you go to our route, I already created one of the controller, that is the edit method. So now I have to create this edit method in our student controller. Like go to the our controller, student controller, and here I want to create that method like as a public, and then function and the edit method. Okay, so here I just define that edit method on particular that position, and also it should be edit with by the ID. Like here as I told you, if you go to that place, you can see that is actually showing as edit and the one ID, and if you go to this place, that is edit the two ID. Okay, so also you have to get one of the ID on particular that position. So here I just defining as a ID, I just defining one of the ID on here. And now with the student model, first of all here I just defining one of the variable as the student. And now with our student model, I want to find out a specific some of the IDs. So here I just define that student model, and now I want to add the find. Okay, find this ID. So here I just defining one of the ID on particular that position. I hope you can well understand about it. And now we have to return this. So here I just define that as a return, and return view, and return view which page. I already created one of the page in our views, that is actually edit page, so it should be redirected to this page. So here I just defining as edit. So here I just define that edit page, and in our edit page I already get all that our specific some of the ID, and I just take that all ID data in our student variable, right? So now I want to compact it and pass that things in our edit page. For the reasons here I just define that compact, and compact with our this student. So now here I just pass that student variable with get all that specific some of the ID, and here I pass that things in our edit page. So now in our edit page we can actually use that student. I hope you can well understand about it. Now here you have to assign the semicolon. So now go to the edit page, and here if you go to that edit, so here that is actually our edit plate, and in our edit plate we don't need to change anything. Like here I just defining as edit. Okay, it should be the edit page, and also for the edit I created one of the route. So that is I created one of the route for as a update, like there is our update route. Okay, so I will do that work later. Right now I just want to actually update it. Like here I just defining as a route update, and that is also the post method. For the reasons here I just defining as a post method. So now that's, and also I added the CSRF field on particular that position. and here you have to define that value. As I told you, first of all I want to visible all the data, so here I just defining the value, and here value will be our, I just get all the things with this student, like I just passed it from here with that student. Okay, I just passed that things with this student. So now with this student I can actually iterate all that, display all the data on here. Like here I just defining as a with this student, and here I just defining our database field name. So our database field name on database, that is actually the first underscore name and the last underscore name. So I just defining as a first underscore name, so I just defining it, so it should be visible on here. So that is actually the value, and now better I just copy it. I just copied. Now I also have to add the things on here. There is another one, and there is also another one. So for now there is a value, so there should be our last name. So I just defining our database field name as a last name, and also this one is the email, and also another one that is actually the value, so this value will be the phone. Okay, so that means our database field name. So I hope you can well understand about it, what exactly the things I did on particular that position. So here I only want to visible that data with that student, because in our student controller, in our edit method, I already get our specific some of the ID, and here I just pass that ID and compact that things in our edit page. For the reasons in our edit page I can use that student variable, right? Like for the reasons here you can see I just use with the student, I just define that name. So now let's check this out. I just click on the save all, and now if you refresh that page, like I just refresh it, now I want to edit it. Like if you click on the edit, here it's showing as a route update. I didn't actually add any ID. I understand what exactly the things I did wrong. Like here you can see I just defined one of the route as an update. But if you go to our route, I already created one of the route with the update and also with the ID. So here you have to assign that ID. Okay. So better I just defining it on here with our ID. So our ID, I just defining it with that student, and that means with this student I just copy it, and here I just defining the ID. So first of all here I just defining that ID, and then our route. So perfect. Now let's check this out again. I just click on the save all, and now go back and refresh it again. Now I want to edit. Yes, now you can see there is actually edit, and after that edit they have one of the ID. Like here if you go to our controller, that means the student controller, that is the edit method, and in our edit method here you can see in our with this model, that means the student model, I find out a specific some of the ID data. So for the reasons, there is one data is now visible on here. There is a Kazi, Aryan, Kazi @gmail.com, and also phone number. And now if you go here, now I just click on edit. So now there is edit data is 2. And here you can see there is only the 2 ID specific data is now visible on here. For the regions, I just defining that conditions that find a specific some of the ID data, and here I just compact it and I just pass that things in our edit page. And in our edit page, I only just visible that all the data, like there is a value. With this value, I just define the first name, last name, email, and the phone number. For the reasons, you can see it's now perfectly visible on here. Like there is our another one, that is a jack. Now click on the edit. Only the jack data is now visible on here. I hope you can well understand about it. In our next video, I will show you about the update portions. Like if you want to change the name, if you want to change the last name, if you want to change the email address or phone number, and after that, if you click on the update, then all the data will be updated. And after that updated, it should be redirected to our home page. So how can do that work? In our next video, I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I already discussed about that edit options. Like if you click on the edit, then it should be redirected to the edit with a specific some of the ID. And here you can see it's now showing as a specific ID in first name, the last name, the email address, and the phone number. So right now in this video, I will show you how you can update all the data. For doing this, I already created one of the route for this one. Like if you go here, there is a route as an update, and also you should be updated with one of the ID. And here in your student controller, there is our update method. So this is the update method I have to create. And also in our edit page here, if you go to that positions, like I already added that route as update with the ID. Okay, so here are you defining as a first of all there is an update method, and after that there is actually the ID. For the reasons here I also assign as an update, and after that update there is the ID. So this ID means if you go to our database table, so that is actually the ID, right? I hope you can well understand about it. And update means what? Update means you will be insert that data again. So for that inserting the data, I already created one of the method in our student controller as a this one that is actually store. So it will be the just like that same. And here only the difference you will be insert the data with the ID. That means the specific sum of the ID, right? So now first of all I want to create our update method. Like here I just define as a public and then function, and our method is update. Okay, I just defined that our update method. So here there is our update. And as I told you, when you insert it, like before, I just defining as a request and the request. So for now, I just copy it, and here I just defining as a request with that request. And also, if you go to our route here, you can see there is an update, and after that update, you have to also assign the ID. So for now, I want to take another parameter on particular that position, like here, in particular that area, I just defining one of the ID. So here I just defining the ID, and rest of this will be the just like same. Here I also before insert I also want to validate it, all that field will be required, and then all that our student model, and then field and save the data. Okay, it's pretty much the same things. I just copy whole things from here. I just copy whole things from to this position, and now in our update method I just simply paste it. Okay, so I just simply paste it on particular that area. So it should be the same. Like here, first of all you will be get that validation, and then you will be save the data. Only the difference is here I just defining one of the ID. So now I want to update a specific some of the ID. So for the reasons here I want to do in our student model, here I assign as a find. Okay, find with our this ID. So here I just simply add that ID on particular that position. I hope you can well understand about it, and rest of will be the same. That is our this is student. Here there is a first name, and there is a request the first name, and then after that he'll be saved. And when it should be saved, I just redirected to the home page. Okay, so you should be redirected to our home page, that means our welcome page, with some of the message. So here when it should be updated, then I want to display some of the message as a student successfully updated. Okay, so here I just defining that updated, and this the message will be redirected to our home. As I told you, I already displayed that one of the message. Here you can see that it is success message, and here it's also showing as a alert success. So perfect, it should be now work. I hope you can well understand about it. He will be updated with a specific some of the ID. Now let's check this out. I just click on the save all, and now if you go here, I just refresh it. Like here, go to the home, and now I want to update as a Kazi. Like here I just want to update that one John, because the edit I just define as a 1 1, and I just defining as a John 1. I just defining as a 1 1 number. For education purpose I'm using it. Now click on the add data. Yes, now you can see it's now showing as a student successfully updated. And also our first name is now updated, the last name is updated, email address updated, and phone number also updated. So we successfully updated our that data, and if you go to our database and if you click on the browse again, now you see it's also updated on particular that position. I hope you can well understand about it. And also if you want to update like Jack, like I just click on the edit. Better that is actually our edit page. I just want to make that button name as an update. I go to our edit page, and here there is a add data, so I just define as an update. Okay, I just define button name as an update. Now click on the save all, refresh that page. Yeah, now you can see it's update. So I just define only the Jack one and Ma one, and click on the update. Yeah, student successfully updated Jack one and the Ma one. I hope you can well understand about it, how can update your field data. In our next video, I will discuss about the delete options. Like if you want to delete it, then how can delete it? In our next video, I will show you that things with the live example. So thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I already discussed about that things with you, how can update your all the data, and also here I inserted some of the demo data for you. Okay, so in this video, I want to show you if you click on the delete, then first of all, it should be show some of the message that are you sure to delete. So if you click on the yes, then it should be gone from to this position. Okay, rather than it should be load that particular that page. So how you can delete your data in this video, I will show you that things with a live example. For doing this, first of all, I want to create one of the route like here. There is edit, we don't need this. There is a main blade, we also don't need it. Create, I just remove all the things from here. So in our route, first of all, I want to create one of the route. As I told you, in our route method, if you want to delete some of the data, then you have to use the delete method. So here now I just define the delete. Okay, I just define the delete method, and then it should be redirected to the delete. So here I just define as a delete. Okay, delete, and also it should be deleted by the id, so you have to also assign it. And in our student controller I want to create one of the method as a delete method, and I just name it as a delete. I hope you can well understand about it. And now in our student controller we have to create this delete method. So now go to our student controller, and here I want to create another method like as a public, and then function, and then the method. Okay, there is a delete method. Also, as I told you, we have to delete it with by the id. So for the reasons you have to get that id, so here I just define that id. And here, as I told you, it should be deleted that data by the id. For the reasons, first of all, here I just define our student model, and in our student model here I just define on the find, and find some of the specific id. So that is actually our id. So here I just define that id on particular that position, and then I just want to delete it. So here I just define one of the Laravel method as a delete method. So here I just define that delete method on particular that position, and after the delete it should be redirected to our like here I want to do after the delete it should be redirected to our home page. Okay, I already discussed about that things with you. Here I just define that returned, and return and redirect to our home, that means in our home page, welcome page, with some of the id. Like there is actually the success message. So right now I want to do that is actually the student successfully updated. So now I just define as a student delete successfully. Okay, delete successfully, this type of message it should be visible. And now I have to work in our welcome page, that means here. So here I added one of the buttons. So now go to that place, like there is our welcome plate, and here that is actually the page. Okay, so that is actually the header for the delete data. So here I just define one of the icon. So first of all, here you have to define one things, like here I want to take one of the form for this one, like I just define as a form. Okay, I just define one of the form, and into the form here first of all I just define one of the method, and I just define as a post method. And for the post method I also want to define one of the id, and here I want to take one of the id because of, as I told you, when you click on the delete, first of all it should be show some of the pop-up message that are you sure to delete. So if you click on the OK, then it should be deleted. So for doing this, first of all, here I, for education purpose, I'm using one of the id as a delete. Okay, the delete, and then I just define as a form, and then here I just defining our id, that means our database field id. So here with this student, that is actually the id. Okay, so here I just assigning it. So I will show you, then it will be very much clear to you why I am actually using that id. And after that, what exactly we have to do, we have to put some of the action. So here I just define one of the action, like I just copy it, it should be just like that same. And here I just define that action. In our route I already created one of the route, and I just assigned the name as a delete, right? So for now I just copy it. So I just want to add that things, and here you can see that I the route as a delete, and after the delete they have some of the id. For the reasons here I just define as a route and the delete route, and after the delete here there is our id. I hope you can well understand about it. I want to delete that data with a specific some of the ID. For the reasons here in our controller, I just defining it, find the ID, and then he will be deleted. So now I just define the route on particular that position. And now also here I have to assign our CSRF, like here Better I on particular that position I just define that CSRF on here, because I define as a post, so I just define a CSRF underscore field. So I just define as a CSRF field on particular that position. And then I also want to add another one, like here I just copied, and now I want to take another one as a method. Like here I just define as a method. Okay, method underscore field, and here I just defining as a delete. So here I just defining our method as a delete method, so I just defining it on here. So better I just put the things as a on particular that position. Like here I just put some of the style, and here I just define as a display, and I just define as a none. Okay, so here I just added our CSR field and method field for the delete, and after that that is actually our form is ended on particular that position. And after that I want to add one of the button for the delete, like I show you here. I just define one of the button. Okay, I just define one of the button, and I want to finish it. Like here I just start it, and I just want to finish it after that I just want to finish it on particular that position. And here I want to add some of the JavaScript. Okay, like here I just define on the on click. I define on the on click, and into the on click in particular that position I just define on the if condition, and if here I just define on the confirm. Okay, if I just define as a confirmation, and if confirmation I just want to show some of the message like are you sure to delete this data. So this type of one of the message, it should be visible when you click on the delete first. And also they have the another things, like when you click on the delete, then it should be show some of the pop-up message, are you sure to delete. So they have the two options. If you click on the OK, that means if you click on the submit, then this data will be deleted. Rather than there have also will be one of the button as a cancel. So if you click on the cancel, then it should be redirected to the same page without loading. So for the reasons here I just put one of the conditions, like here I just put some of the condition on here. I just define that event, and also they have some of the JavaScript as a prevent default. Okay, I just define as a prevent default for this one. And after that here I want to actually put that actions, like here I just define that document dot get element by ID. So here I just defining it. So now here I want to define one of the ID, like here I already taken that one of the ID. So now I just want to defining it on particular that position, like here there is a data delete from. So for the reasons here I just define one of the ID, and now there is a delete from with this our database field ID. And here I just defining as a submit, then will be actually the submitted. So here I just define that submit button, else I want to do the another work. Okay, so here I just defining as a else, like that is actually finished on here on particular that position. I just define as a else. Okay, I just defining as a else on here, else he will be redirected to same page without load. Okay, so as I told you before, so now here I just define as an event again, and here I just define as a prevent default. Okay, without load he will be redirected. So here I just added that command. So after that this one, so now that's all you have to do. Okay, now that's all for that delete. Now let's check this out. I just click on the save all. Now if you go to that page and refresh it, now here is showing as unexpected this in our student controller. Here you can see I just mix up. There are actually the two. So in our controller, that means the student controller, there is a delete method. Here you can see I just define. So that is actually pretty much a small mistake. I hope you can well understand about it. Find and then ID, there is a delete. Perfect. So now I just click on the save all, and now I refresh that page again. Yeah, now you can see it's perfect. So now there is actually our delete, and into the deletes there is actually the marketable. Let's check this out. If you go to the place here, there is actually the A class. Okay, better I just remove it. I don't need this because here I started that things from here. That is actually the one of the A. After that, so here I don't need this. Here I just simply added one of the class. So here I remove that A. Okay. So here I just remove it. Now let's check this out. Click on the save all, and now if you refresh it, yeah, now you can see it's perfect. Now it's gone from to this area. And now here if you click on the delete, now you can see it's now showing as one of the JavaScript that's are you sure to delete this data. And also here is the two button, one is the OK and another is the cancel. Okay, so if you click on the cancel, like here you can see it's now redirected to the same page without loading. So that's the things I defining on here. There is an event and the prevent default, and here you can see I just defined that ID. So that is actually the ID. So when it should be cancelled, then it should be redirected to the same page without loading. And if you click on the submit, then it should be deleted. So that's the things I just defining on here. Now let's check this out. It's working or not. I just click on the refresh again. And now I want to delete like this one. There is a test. So click on delete, and now you can see it's now showing as the are you sure to delete data. So I just click on the OK. Yes, now you can see it's now showing as a student delete successfully. So if you go here, now you can see that the test is gone from to this position. I hope you can well understand about it. Now we successfully insert some of the data. So here you just do that again. Here I just define as a test. Okay, test some name. Define that another one. I just define some of the demo text, and here is define the phone number. Click on the add new. Yeah, data is inserted successfully. If you want to edit, then you can edit this one. Click on the update. Yeah, you can see that is actually the updated. And also if you want to delete it, so they have some of the pop-up message. If you click on the OK, then it should be deleted successfully. So our code application, that means how can read data, how can insert data, how can update data, and how can delete data. Each and every functionality I discuss about that things with you. So that is actually the main core thing. So if you are just beginner level, if you want to just start it, so this section will help you a lot. And if you achieve that main basic core things, then Laravel will be very much interactive for you. So step by step, we'll move more deep in Laravel. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our all previous video, I already discussed about that Laravel code functionalities. That means how can create data, how can read data, how can update data, and how can delete data. So each and everything I already discussed about that things with you with the live example. Hope it's very much clear to you. In this video, I want to show you like if you want to add some of the designation. I just added some of the demo data. For right now, they have the 6 data. Okay, so if you want to add some of the designation, like after that 5 or after the 10, it should be redirected to the next page. So that is actually the designation. It's very much easy to create designation in Laravel. How you can do that work, I will show you that things with a live example. For doing this, first of all, you have to understand like here in our home page, I just defined that one of the method. Like if you go to this place, like in our that is student controller, and in our student controller here, if you see like in our index method, and in our index method, I just load that page. That means the welcome page. And here there is all that our data. I just added that table in our home page. That means the welcome page. Now I want to do like before I get all the data from our table, that means the student table, right? So now here I want to put some of the limitation. Like for now this all the data will be visible on here, but right now I want to put some of the limitation. So if you want to do that work, then here you have to write down on particular that position as a designate. Okay, so I just define as a designate, and into the designate here right now I define as a 5. That means here I just put some of the limitation as a 5. That means after that 5, that means here it's only visible that 5 data on particular that position. Okay, so let's check this out. I just defining as a designate as a 5, and now if you click on the save all, and now that is actually the 6 data. So now I just refresh it. Yes, now we see it's now showing as a 5 data. I hope you can well understand about it. So now I want to add some of the designate, like because we have one another data for doing this. That is our welcome page. So now go to our welcome page, and into this page Here that is actually the for each ended on particular that area. So after that for each, so here I just added one of the Laravel command. So I just define as a student. Okay, student, because here I already compact one of the things, that is a students. Okay, so it should be students, and here I just defining that in our welcome page, because here I'm already outside of the for each. For the reasons here I have to define that students. Okay, because in our for each I already define that one as a student. Okay, so right now I am outside of the for each. For the reasons I have to add that variable as a students, which actually I passed from here. I hope you can well understand about it. So now in particular that position you have to do, you have to add one of the function as a link. Okay, I just defined that links on particular that area. So that's all you have to do for showing the designation. Like click on the save all, and now if you refresh that page, like here I just refresh it. Yes, now we see there is actually one, there is a two page. So if you click on the two, so they have another data is a 6 number data is now visible on particular that position. I hope you can well understand about it, how much easily you can add that designation in Laravel. So now it's perfectly working on here. So thanks for watching, and if you have any query and if you have any question, just let me know about it. I'm here for help you. I will try to help you as much as I can. So don't hesitate to let me know about your problem. I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In this section, I will discuss about Laravel default authentication system. Like how can install Laravel, how can create database and configure it, how can set up default authentication for the login and register page, how can set up reset password, and also how can add another field for the change password. So step by step, each and everything I will show you with a live example. So let's start it with how can you install Laravel in your local host. I will create this project in our local host, and for the local host I am using the XAMPP. First of all, you have to run the Apache and the MySQL. I already ran two of these. In our previous section, I already discussed about that things with you. When you install that XAMPP, you will get one of the folder in your C drive where actually you install it. Like if you go to that positions, like there is a C drive, and when you install that XAMPP, you will get this type of one of the folder. So now you have to open it, and then you have to go to the htdocs. And htdocs is the main root directory of your local host. So I will create this project on particular that position. First of all, here I want to create one of the folder for our project, and here I name it as a Laravel. Okay, or I just name it as a Lara. And into the Lara, in particular that folder, I want to install that Laravel. And if you go to that Laravel official website, and if you go to that documentation, and into the documentation here you can see that the latest version is Laravel 6. So I will create this project with using that Laravel 6, then it will be very much helpful to you. And also they have some of the system requirements. And here you can see there is a PHP version should be equal or greater than the 7.2. So when you install that XAMPP, if you go to that local host, you will get that PHP info. So if you click on here, that is actually 7.3.7. In your previous section, I already discussed about that things with you, how can update your local host PHP version. So right now I am using the PHP version 7.3. That means it's now capable to install Laravel, right? So now I want to install it, and if you go here, if you want to install it through the composer, you can install it. Okay, so right now I want to install it through the composer, then it will be very much easy. So how can install Laravel 6 with using the composer, I will show you. For doing this, first of all, here you have to go to the getcomposer.org, and here there is an option for the download, and into the download they have also some of the command line installation. Okay, so you have to actually run that command. Before run it, you have to find out that cmd, like that is actually our directory. So in particular that folder I want to install it, so here you have to write down as a cmd. And now here you can see it's now redirected to the main path, that is the XAMPP, the htdocs as the main directory, and into the directory I created one of the folder for the Lara. Okay, so in particular that position I want to install that composer first. So now I want to do that is actually the command line installation. So for now I just copy whole things from here, and now I want to paste on particular that position. So now here you can see it's now installing that composer and make that sure you are connected with the internet. And also they have option for the unlink. So if you click on the unlink, then this composer setup.php will be gone from here. So right now I want to unlink it, and if you now click on the enter, then it should be gone. You can see it's now gone from here. So on particular that position, now I want to install that Laravel. So I already installed that our composer, and when you install that Laravel with via the composer, then they have some of the command lines. So right now I just copy it and now go to that position, and here I paste it. So that is actually the composer create project, and project is Laravel block. So this block is means your project name. So if you want to change it, you can change it from here. Like here I just name it as a L auth. Okay, so this type of one of the folder I want to create, and in particular that position I will create our project. So he will create one of the folder in particular that position as a auth. Okay, L auth. So now I just click on the enter. So it will loaded all the requirements files for installing that Laravel. So you have to wait for it and make that sure you are connected with the internet, because he will download all that file through the internet. So it may take little time. When it will be done, then I will come back again. Here you can see it's downloading all the resources one by one from the internet, and also he created one of the folder as a LAuth. So that is the name I just defining for our project. So as I told you, make that sure you are connected with the internet. So when it should be completely done, then I will come back again. Our Laravel installation is successfully done. So here he get all the necessary file. You can see that I load all the necessary file on particular that position. And now if you want to access it, like here, if you go to that positions, right now we don't need this. Now I go to that local host, and after that I created one of the folder as a Lara, and then I just create another name folder as a L. What it is? I created another folder as a L auth, and now click on the enter, and here you can see redirected to all that file. So here you have to go to that public, like if you go to the public, and here you can see Laravel installation is successfully done on here. I hope you can well understand about it, and if you also want to remove that public, you can also do that work. It's pretty much simple process. You have to go to the server, and particular that position I just copy it, and here I just paste it. And now first of all here you have to rename it as index.php. Okay, I just name it, and then you have to go to the public, and in our public here there is one of the stxs. So now I just copy that stxs file. Now go back, and this root directory, that means our project root directory, here you have to paste it. So I just simply paste it on particular that position. And now if you remove that public, like here I don't want to use that public, and if you click on the enter, yes, now you can see our project is perfectly loaded in our main directory, that means LAuth. I hope you can well understand about it. So there is actually totally fresh Laravel 6. I install it on particular that position. So here they have no logging and register button. So we have to also add that authentication. So step by step I will show you. So in our next video, I will show you how can create the database and how can configure it. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I already discussed about that things with you, how can you install Laravel 6 with using the composer. In this video, I will show you how can create the database and how can configure it. For doing this, first of all, you have to go to your local host, and then you have to go to the phpMyAdmin. And into this phpMyAdmin, you have to create your database. Like they have option for the database, like here I click it, and into this position there is a create database. So I already have some of the database on particular that position. Now I want to create new one. So right now I want to create as a Lara. Okay, so this type of one of the database I want to create, and now simply create as a create. So I have create our database as a Lara. So now I have to configure it in our project. So that means this project. For doing this, I want to use our sublink text editor. So I will create our project with using that editor. Okay, whatever the editor you want to like, you can choose it. But right now I'm using this one. So first of all, I want to actually add our project on particular that position is drag and drop. I just simply added that on particular that position. So in our previous section, I already discussed about that things with you, all the things, that is the app, and here you will get your all that controller, and also there is the resources for the view all the file you will get on particular that position, and also there is actually the database, and here all the migrate file will be visible on here. So there's the three things will be needed, and also there is another one is the route, and into the route there is a web. So I already discussed about that things with you. Right now I want to actually configure our database. For doing this you have to go to that if, and particular that position is pretty much simple. Like here there is a database name, so I already created one of the database on particular that area as a Lara. Okay, so for now I just copy it, and here I simply paste on particular that position. That means that is our database name, and also that is the username. So right now I'm using the local host, and into the local host by default username as a root, and right now I don't have any password. For the reasons it's now blank. So you'll get all that information if you go to our database, and here there is our user account, and into the user account here you can see that the username is by default root, and password they have no password. For the reasons I just make the things as a blank, and also I just using that username as a root, and that is the database I created as Lara. I hope you can well understand about it. It's pretty much simple things. So here I already configured, is totally done. So now I just click on the save all, and if you now refresh it, if everything okay, it should be okay. You can see it's perfect. So here right now I created one of the database. So if you go here, and I created one of the database as a Lara, that means this one right now that is actually totally blank, and also I configure it on particular that position in our project. I hope you can well understand about it. In our next video I will discuss about that auth system, how can create the authentication, that means the Laravel default authentication system for the login and register. I will show you that things with live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In a previous video I will discuss about that things with you, how can create the database and how can configure it. Right now I want to set up Laravel default authentication system. So how can do that work? If you go to that Laravel official website, and here if you go to that security, and into this position there is an authentication. So now click on here, and as I told you right now I am using Laravel version 6. So here if you find out a lot of the informations, like there is actually the routing, and here you have to run two of these. Okay, before if you using that as a Laravel 5.8, so before that was actually the another command line. If you go here there is a routing, you will get another, you can see that is actually the routing. Before you have to run this command, that is php artisan make auth. So before if you run that command, then automatically he will created all the necessary authentication file and folders. So right now I am using that Laravel 6. So here now I select as a Laravel 6, and it's a little bit different. So here you can see that you have to run as a composer required Laravel tab, and also there is a PHP artisan view. So now we have to run two of these in our root folder. So now go to our root folder, that means in particular that position. So that is our project folder. So now in particular that area I just click on the CMD. So here make that sure your path is perfect. So in our local host as a htdocs, and after that that is our Lara, and into the Lara folder I created our project as a log. Okay, so now you have to run two of this command line in particular that position. So now I simply copy it, and now here I just paste it, and now click on the enter. So he'll created some of the necessary file on particular that area, like he will created one of the route. So here if you go to this position, in particular that position, he will create one of the route. Okay, and also he will create one of the migration on here in our view, that means the resources view folder. He will create some of the things. So now it's take little time. Take that sure you are connected with the internet, because he will be downloaded some of the file from the internet. So it may take little time, you have to wait for it. And here you can see there is a packages modified generated successfully. So here all that our packages is now generated successfully, and now I want to run another command like that for the auth. Okay, so now I just copy it, and now he will create some of the folder particular that position, and also he will created one of the route. I will show you, like I just paste it, and now click on the enter. Yes, now you can see it created in a view there is a auth, and also created another folder as a layout. And here there is a app plate. Okay, so here you created some of the file as I told you. So right now that is modified. So now if you go to the web, now you can see he created one of the another route. So that is actually get home, the home controller index method. So you created also one of the route, especially when you actually run that command line. So here I just ran that command line with the PHP artisan UI view and auth. And also there is a auth folder is now automatically added, and in your migration is added. And also if you go to that HTTP, and here there is a controller, into the controller also created automatically one of the folder at particular that position as a auth. So now perfect, so we perfectly did that work. And now if you refresh your page, like here I refresh it, yes, now you can see it automatically created authentication for the login and the register. So if you click on the login, so there is actually the login page and there is actually the register. So that is the by default, but here all the CSS file is now missing. So you have to run it. Like if you go here, they have also some of the instructions. There's all those views, use the Bootstrap CSS framework, but you are free to customize them however you wish. So now I want to actually customize that file. So first of all, I want to find out that file location. So if you go to that area, like here, there is a resource, and into the resource there is a view, and into the view there is auth, and here you can see that it is the logging page. So that is actually our logging page. That means if you go here, so that is actually our logging page actually comes from particular that position, and also there is our register. So now also they have the another folder as a layout, and there is an app blade, and into the app blade here you can see there is actually the CSS app CSS. So that's all that missing. So now I want to add some of the bootstrap class on here. So if you go to that bootstrap CDN, and then there is actually the one of the link. So now I want to add that CSS. So I just simply copy it, and now there is a CSS. I want to add that, so here I just paste on particular that position. And also we need some of the JS file, so here some of the JS file also here. So now I just copy all the JSS file from this position. So that is actually the bootstrap CDN file. So now I just paste it on particular that area. So now if you click on the save all, and now I want to refresh it again, like I just refresh it. Yes, now you can see that is actually the by default Laravel authentication system. How much easily you can do that work. Like there is a register, so that is a register page, that is a logging page, so there is a forget, so that is also the forget page. So how Laravel default authentication system actually work, I will show you step by step into this section. So now here we successfully set up our default authentication system. Now I want to migrate it. Okay, I already discussed about that things with you before. Like in our this database there is a migrations, and by default they have some of the migrations file for the password for the user, that means the create user. So if you migrate it, then it should be created one of the table in our database that I already created as a Lara. Okay, I already created one of the database as a Lara. So it will create one of the table as a users. Okay, and also there is all that field. So right now that is all the default field. So if you want to add another field on particular that position, you can also add that things on here. So right now I want to make that things as per it is. So now I want to migrate it. So as I told you, when you migrate, then you should be created one of the table in our database. So that is our database. You will create one of the table as a user, and all that field will be just like that one. Like that should be some of the ID, the name, email, and the email verification, and also the password. Okay, so I will show you, then it will be very much clear to you. Like right now, that is our project. So that is our main project directory. So now I want to add our migrations. Like I just define as a PHP artisan migrate. Now here I just click on the enter. And also I will, in our previous section I already discussed about that things with you. Also here some of the error. Okay, so you have to actually add your specific limits. So better I just show that things again. Like you have to copy it. It's pretty much common one of the error. If you search it on Google, then you will get this type of one of the information. Like here that is one of the information that you have to update. So that is the one of the error is a specific key was too long error. So now I want to actually solve it. Here you can see there is all that solving information, like you have to go to the app providers and app service providers. So now I want to go on particular that area, like you have to go to the app and then actually the providers, and there is the app service providers. So in particular that positions they have only one of the class. So right now I want to add another one, like here you can see. So now I just copy it, and here I have to add it, and also you have to add another one like this one in our boot method. So that is actually our boot method, you have to add it. So now in our boot method here I have to add that things on here. So that's all you have to do for preventing that error. Now I just click on the save all, and when you already migrate, like here I already migrate, so some of the file is already created successfully. Okay, so now we have to remove it. Like if you go to our database and now if you click on the structure, now you see automatically created the users and the migrate. So now they have some of the errors. So right now I just select two of these and delete that things from here. So I just remove that things from to this position. I hope you can well understand about it. Now I just want to do that work again. Better I just remove it and now go to that again CDN. Okay, CMD, and here I just define as a PHP artisan migrate. So I just defining it and click on the enter. Yes, now you can see all that migration table is now perfectly now created. I hope you can well understand about it. And now if you go here, now if you click on the structure, and now if you go to the users, as I told you, when you migrate, then he will be created some of the table, like in our, if you go to these positions, like there is a user, and you can see he created one of the table as a user. So here you can see created one of the table as a users, and also all that field. So now here there is a name, ID, email, there is a email verification, there is a password. So all that you can see, there's all that field is now perfectly added on here. So now here I already migrated, so perfectly I did that work. Now if you want to log in, like here I just click on the login. First of all I want to register it. Like here I just name it as a Kazi, and I just put on the email address as a kazi@gmail.com, and here I just put on the password 78, and also I put the another one 345678. That is a kazi@gmail.com. Now I just click on the register. Yeah, you can see now you are successfully logged in. I hope you can well understand about it. So if you now click on the logout, now if you click on the login and put the kazi@gmail.com, and here I just put the password. Now click on the login. Yeah, perfectly is now working. And also if you go to the database, now if you click on the browse, so I already registered in particular that position as a name Kazi, that is the email address, the email verification. So I will do that work later. And also he created one of the hash password on particular that position, and that is actually number token. So it's now perfect. I hope you can well understand about it. So here they have some of the error. So if you search it, you can get that resources from here. I hope it's very much easy to you right now. And also I added some of the bootstrap CDN. Perfect. Okay. So our logging authentication is now perfectly working, and also I inserted the data in our database. So I hope you can well understand about it, how you can set up the default authentication system in Laravel 6. In our next video, I will discuss about password reset options. Like they have also one of the option for the forget your password. So how can actually reset that password? In our next video, I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In a previous video, I already discussed about that things with you, how you can create the Laravel default authentication system. And here now our login and register page is now perfectly visible on here. And also you can create some of the registration from here, and also you can log in it, and all the data will be saved in our database table as a users table. So right now in this video, I want to show you how can create the reset password. Like here, if you forget your password, then they have option for the forget your password. So if you click on here, and here you have to put your email address, and if you click on the send password reset link, then he will be created one of the link for reset password. So how can do that work? How can set up it in Laravel? In this video, I will show you that things with the live example. For doing this in Laravel is automatically ready-made all the things. Like if you go to the app and there is a HTTP, there is a controller. When you create the auth, we created automatically some of the controller in our auth folder. So into this auth folder here, you can see there is a forget password. So all that forget password, that is all that method. So if you put your cursor, you get all that information, that the backend information. Okay, here you can see all the things is ready made. All that this file actually working for this forget password, the register, the reset password. So there is also another controller. You can see there is a reset password controller.php. So if you put your, like, that is actually the one of the use the reset password. So here if you put your cursor, you can see there is a definition for the bundle Laravel framework, and there is a reset password.php actually working into the backend. Okay, if you click on here, it will be redirected to particular that page. And here you can see all the reset method, all the reset methods are broken actually working. For this one there's a password, there's all the rule is automatically added on here. So you don't need to do anything. All the things, like he will be created on the hash password, there is a hash and the mac. Okay, so all the things is now ready made on particular that area, so you don't need to do anything. So that's all that backend file actually working for this controller. Okay, so now I have to do, I have to actually just set up that file. For doing this better, I want to create one of the register with our some of the email address. Like that is actually not valid email address right now. I want to create some of the temporary email address. Like if you go to that temp email, like they have the one of the website is a tampmail.org. So right now I just open it. So this site will give you one of the temporary email. Like here you can see there is one of the temporary valid email, and you can check your all that inbox on particular that position. So there is a temp and hyphen, that is mail.org. So right now I want to create one of the registration for the user with this email address. There is a valid email address for the temporary use. For education purpose, I'm using it. Like I just click on the register, and here I just name it as a Aryan. And now I just put that temporary valid email address as this one. And I just put some of the password 78, and here I just define 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So I hope you can well understand about it. Now with this email address, I just want to create one of the register for the Aryan. Now click on the register. Now here you can see I am now successfully logged in. So here there is a Aryan is visible. Now I am logging, and if you go to the database and if you click on the browse, now you can see there is actually name is Aryan and there is email. For educational purpose, I am using some of the temporary email on particular that area. So now I want to go here, and now I just click on the log out, and now I want to create as a login. Okay, so now here I just define our temporary email address which I already created, where I already registered with this email address. Okay, so now I just put the email address, and here I just put some of the inappropriate password, and if you click on the login, now you see it's now showing as a this credential not match. So now I want to actually forget that password. Like here I just forget it. So now I want to reset that password. Okay, now here option for the forget password. So now here if you put that email address, and here if you send it, then it should be redirected to some of the reset password link on particular that mail, on particular that area. Okay, so we have to actually configure it, we have to set up it. So how can do that work, I will show you. For doing this, it's pretty much easy. Then you have to go to your backend, and here you have to go to that if, like here, in particular that position. First of all, there is an app URL. In here you have to define your appropriate file location. So like if you working with the domain, then you have to add your domain name on here. So right now I am working in a local host, so now here you have to define your local host link. Like that is actually our project, there is a Lara and then the LUN. Okay, so LAuth, so that is our project name. So for now I just copy it, and here I just paste on particular that position. I hope you can well understand about it. And here I already define our database, our username, and the default password. They have no password right now. Okay. And now if you have to work in our this area, so like first of all, there is a driver, there is a mail driver. So here I have to add that as a SMTP. And now I want to also add the things to the Google. If you go to that Gmail on here, like here I just define as a Gmail SMTP configuration like this one. And here you can see there is a Gmail SMTP setup settings. So here there is a server address is a smtp@gmail.com. So right now I want to copy it. So here I have to defining it on particular that host area. Okay, so I just simply paste on particular that position as a smtp.gmail.com. And also you have to define the port name. So here our port for the TSL, and if you are using the SSL then you have to use the 465. So right now I am using the TSL, so here I just defining as a 587. So I just copy it, and here I just defining it as a 587. And also there is a mail encryption. So mail encryption means here I you define as a TSL. So if you are using the SSL, then you can use that SSL. Right now I am using as a TSL, so I just copy it, and particular that position I just defining as a TSL. And into the mail username and the password. So here you have to put your some of the Gmail address, and also you have to define that this email address password. So right now I'm just putting one of the Gmail address on here, and my personal Gmail address. And also here I just put the password, that means this Gmail address password. And friends, that's all you have to do. It's very much easy, as I told you before. So now I just define all that our SMTP details on particular that position, and now I just simply click on the save all. So here I just click on the save all, and now I already created one of the temporary email address as this one, and I also created one of the registration with this email address like here. So now I just simply better I just do that things again, like here I just click on the login, forget password, and here I just put that password. And now if you click on the send password link, and here you can see it's now showing as we have email your password reset link to this email. So if you now go here, there is our temporary email, and particular that position here you can see that is actually the Aryan Go boss. So now if you open it, so now here you can see Laravel by default send you some of the reset password URL. So here if you click on here, now it's redirected to our author and the password, and then the reset. Okay, there is a reset, and also with some of the token. So this token will be matched in our database. Like if you go our database reset option like password reset, here you can see it should be matched with this token, and when it should be done, then automatically it should be gone from to this position. I will show you. Like here I get that email address. Right now I want to add the new password. Like right now I'm using as a 12312, sorry, 123 123 123. Okay, and also I define 123 and now I just reset that password. Now click on the reset password. Yes, now you can see your password has been reset and you logging successfully. So I am already logging. So now if you click on the go back, and now I want to with our previous one, like here I just defined 1234567 8. That was my previous password. Now I want to log in. Now here you can see it's now showing as a these now do not match with this record. So now here I just put our new password 123, and now click on the login. Yeah, now you can see I am successfully logged in. And when it should be the reset, then automatically it should be gone from here. Like I just click on the browse. Now you can see this token is automatically now gone from to this position. For educational purpose, I'm using some of the temporary email with this email, and here I am using that things with the temp email org. And you can see by default each and everything is ready-made in Laravel. For the reasons Laravel actually so much popular and very easy to understand. So now here I successfully reset our password. But here one things I want to share, like if you click on the logout, and now I just click on the login, and if you forget password, so here I put that email address, and here I just define that same password reset. So some of the times you may get some of the error, like this error will be just like that is a failed authentication on SMTP server with username using three possible authentications Laravel Gmail SMTP configuration. So this type of one of the error maybe you get. Okay, So this error actually visible for some of the Gmail authentication. Okay, that means the Gmail securities issues. So if you want to do that work, then you have to go to this link. Okay, so they have some of the Gmail links, so it will be redirected to your Gmail ID, and then here you have to do, you have to go your Gmail address, and here you have to go to that security level. That means here, and also they have all one of the option. So that is actually your Gmail option. There is a layer security app access, and here you have to make the things as on. By default, for the Google privacy issues, it's become off, so you have to remind that things as on. Okay, then it should be perfectly working, rather than you may get some of the error. So I hope you can well understand about it. So that's all you have to do for resetting the password. In our next video, I will show you, I will create another form for the update or change password. So how can update or change password in Laravel? In our next video, I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I already discussed about that things with you, how can reset your password from to this position. In this video, I will show you how can change or update your password. For doing this, first of all, we have to create one of the controller for this one. Like if you go here and in our HTTP, there is a controller folder, and into the controller folder there is a auth. So all that authentications related controller, in particular that position, like that's for the forget password, there is a login controller, the register controller, the reset controller. You can see all that controller you will get on particular that position. So for the change password, right now I want to create one of the controller, in particular that folder. That means the auth folder. So if you want to create one of the controller, then you have to go to your directory, and into this project directory here, I just define as a CMD. And now I want to create one of the controller in our auth. Okay, like that means here in particular that folder, here I want to create one of the controller. So for creating that controller, you have to write down as a PHP artisan make controller, and then I want to create one of the controller in our auth folder. So you have to define your auth folder name and then your controller name. So I just define our controller name as a change password, and then I just define that controller. So here there is a PHP artisan make controller, and then the auth folder, and into the auth folder he will be created one of the controller as a change password controller. So now I just click on the enter, and now here you can see there is a controller created successfully. And in our auth here there is our controller I just created. So here I have created that controller as a change password controller. I hope you can well understand about it. And now I want to create one of the route for the change password. So if you want to create the route, then you have to go to your routes, and there is a web.php. In particular that position, now I want to first of all load some of the page for the reset password. That means for the change password field. So first of all I want to load some of the change password page, and then I will update it. So first of all here I just define that our route URL. So here I just name it as a change password, and then the password. Okay, so this type of the route I want to create. And now our controller name, so in our that is our change password controller, and here I is defining it. And into the change password controller I want to create one of the method as an index method, and for this route I just name it as a page as a password change dot change. Okay, so this type of name I just defining it on particular that position. So here what exactly the things I want to do. First of all, I want to load some of the page, and where I will match our old password, and then I will put our new password. That means here after that I want to update this password, right? So we have to insert that password newly again. So for doing this better, I just want to create another route. So here I just defining that route name, and when you insert it, then you have to define as a post. So here I just define our route as a post route. That means the post method. Okay, and then our URL will be the same. And in our change password controller I want to create one of the method. So here I just defining one of the method for the update, like as a change password. And for this change password I just define that name as a password update. Okay, I just defined the password update. And also here we have to change one things, like there is a controller I just created in our auth folder, so you have to define your auth folder on particular that position. So here I just define as a auth, and then our controller name, and after that that is our method. So that is also on same place. So here I just defining our auth folder name, and then our controller name, and then the method. So I'll create that things later. First of all, I want to create this method, that means the index method in our change password controller. So now go to that position, and here I want to create one of the method as a public function, and here I just define our index method on particular that position. Okay, I hope you can well understand about it. And in particular index method, first of all I want to load one of the page. Like if you go to our view, like here, that is our view page. In our view there is a auth, and there is a password folder. In password, here I want to create one of the page for the change password. Like here I just created a new file, and now I just click on the save as, and here I just name it as a change dot blade dot php. And this page will be like our, if you go to our register, so that type of field will be needed. So for better, I just copy all the things from our register page. I already discussed about that things with you. If you go to the auth folder, here there is our register page, all that code that's for our logging page code. So right now I just copy all the things from our register page. Okay, so I just copy all the things from here, and now in our change blade, here I just paste it. So laterally I will customize it as per our demand. Okay, so right now I want to load that page. So here I already created one of the route as a change password in our auth change controller. That means our change password controller. There is the index method. So into this index method, I want to first of all load this page. That means this change password blade page. So here I just simply added the return, and then I just define as a view, and here you have to define that URL. That means this URL in our auth folder, then the password folders, and then that is our page. So here I just defining it as a auth, that means the auth folder. After that there is a passwords. Okay, I just defining as a passwords, and then our file name as a change. So I just defining it as a change. So first of all I want to load it. Okay, so here I just defining it. Now let's check this out. I just click on the save all, and now our route is this one, so I just copy it. And now if you go here, now let's check this out, it's perfectly working or not. Better I just go to our main directory, and here I just defining as a change password, and now click on the enter. Yes, now you can see our change password is now perfectly loaded. And also I want to do another work, like if you click on the login, and here right now I already insert some of the data. So there is actually email address. So here I just define that email address, and I just put the password 123 123 123, and now click on the login. And here right now I'm logging, and I also want to add another button on particular that position for the change password. So if you want to do that work, you have to go to your page, like here there is our view and the auth, and there is a layouts, and here there is a applet. Into the applet you get that things on here, like that is actually the logging and the register. Here is the logout, so that is actually one of the buttons. So right now I want to create another button on particular that position. So here I just defining as a okay, I just defining one of the a href, and in particular that area I just want to create one of the page name as a change password. Okay, I just defining as a change password, and here I also want to define one of the route for this one. Like here I just define the route as a first of all you have to define the double second bracket, and particular that position I just define that route. Okay, I just define that route, and here I just define that route for this one as a, I already created one of the method that is actually the change password, that is a password change. Okay, so it should be redirected to particular that position, that means the index method. So here I just name that route as a password change. So for the reasons here I just define that name, so I just copy that password change, and here in our route area I just simply paste on particular that position. And also I want to define one of the class, like here I just define one of the bootstrap class as a drop down item. Okay, drop down, and then I just define as an item here. That is actually one of the bootstrap class. And here I just define the href and I just put that route. I just created that route as a password change, and here there is a change password. Perfect. So now if you click on the save all, and now if you refresh that page, and here if you put your cursor here, you can see there is actually another button is added on here. There is a change password. So if you click on the change password, it will be redirected to our change password URL. I hope you can well understand about it, how the things exactly work. So I just call that route name as a password change. Here I just defining as a password change, and into this position I define our controller in our index method, and into the index method I call our page, right? So here I just simply load our this change password page, that means the change page. So for the reasons it's now visible on here. I hope you can well understand about it. So now I want to customize that page. Right here I want to need one of the field as a old password, and email address we do not need it, and also I need another field for the password and the confirm password. So now first of all I want to go that page link, like here that is our change plate, and in particular that position here you can see that is actually for the email. So here there is one of the tab, so this tab is working for the email. So right now I just remove that things from here. Okay, so that is our password, and that's the another password. So for the name I just want to change it, and here I just name it as the old password. Okay, I just define as a password, so I just defining as an old password for this one. So that will be the level, and that level means here it will be visible on particular that position. Okay, so I just defining as an old password on here, and that is our input type, and here I just define that name as an old password. Okay, I just define as an old password, and also that is a name. So in particular that position you have to also update it, like here the value. So we don't need this value, I just name that name, and then the error here I have to also define that as a old password. So then and name, there is a name. So value, we don't need this value, so right now I just remove that things from here, and that is auto completed as a old password. And also there is a level for name, so I just replace it. Okay, so I just define that name as a old name, and here also I define that old password on here. There is a message, and here that is for the another field for the password will be needed, and also there is a confirm password. Perfect. And also there is a register, that means here there is a register button. So I just want to change it. I want to change it to as a update password. Okay, I just defining as an update password, and then there is actually our form. In particular that form, that means here that you can see that is actually on the post method. And into the post method also you have to define some of the actions, like when you inserted it, then what exactly it should be take some of the action. And for the reasons I already created one of the route here. You can see I created one of the route as a auth and change password controller. There is a change password method we have to create in our this controller area. And also here I just define that name as a password update for this one. That means this route. I hope you can well understand about it, and you can see that is actually the post method. So for the reasons here I just defining as a post method, and in our action I just define our route name. So our route name as a password update, so I just simply updated that things on here. And also here I just defining as a CSRF, so he'll be inserted all the data. So now perfect. Now let's check this out. I just click on the save all, and if you now refresh it, like I just refresh it, yes, now you can see there is an old password, there is a password, there is a confirm password. So here I want to do that type of work, like there is an old password. So right now I'm already logged in with our this user, that means the RDN, and here there is email address, and also they have some of the password. So first of all he will match with our this old password. Okay, so he will be matched with this old password, and if this match, then you can insert the new password. So that's the things I want to do. So I hope you can well understand about it. I already have some of the password. This password will be matched with our old password, and when it will be the match, then you can insert the new password. So that's the simple things we have to do. So I will continue this process, and in our next video I will show you there is a route for the password update, and here I already created that one, that is actually the change password. So in our next video I will show you how we can create that change password method in our change password controller. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In a previous video, I already created one of the page as a change plate, and here also they have some of the field for the old password, password and the confirm password. So right now I want to do here, right now I'm already logged in, and I'm already logged in with some of the password. And here if you go to the database table, here that is actually the password, and this password is created automatically the hash password. So it should be matched first of all on here. So whatever the old password you right now you are logged in, you have to put that old password. So if this password will be the match with this one, that means this password field, then you can actually insert the new password. So that's the functionality I want to do. For doing this, I already created one of the route, and here you can see there is actually the change password, there is auth, there is a change password controller, there is a change password. That means this method I have to create in our change password controller. Like if you go to the change, and here I already defined one of the form action, like here I just defined that action route as a update password. Okay, that means a password update. So now we have to do, we have to create this one, that means the change password method in our change controller. So right now go here, and in particular that position I want to create another method as a public, and then function, and then our method name. So here I just defining that method, and here first of all we have to do, we have to define that request. So here I just define as a request, and also here I just take one of the parameter as a request. Okay, I just defining as a request on particular that position. So first of all, here I want to validate two of these, like old password will be the required and password field will be the required. So that's the two field. First of all, I want to make the things as a required. For doing this here, I just simply added one of the required conditions, like I want to validate it. Okay. So now if you do that work, like with these here, I just defining as a validate. Okay, I just defining as a validate, and into the validate first of all with this request. So here I just defining that request. Okay, with this request you have to define your field. So here you have to defining it with the array. So I just simply added some of the array, and our first array will be our field name. Our field name, if you go here, that is for our old password. Like here you can see that name is old password field. So I want to make that old password field as a required, and also password field will be the required. Okay, so for the reasons here I just that is actually the name I defining as a old password. So now I just defining that field name as the old password, and I just put that things as a required. Okay, I just put that things as a required. And also they have the another field. I also want to take another field that is actually the password field. So I just copy it, and here I take another one, that means the password field also will be needed, that means the required. Okay, so here I just defining as a required, and then I just put that things as a confirm. I just define that things as a confirm, and here I just define that array. So in our last one you don't need to add that comma on particular that position. And after that I want to do that one of the work. Like right now I am already logged in, as I told you before. So right now I am already logging, and I am logging with some of the password. So in our database field, that is a password field. Here already they have some of the hash password, right? So first of all I just want to notify that which user already logged in. So if you want to do that work, first of all here you have to do, I just define one of the variable as the hashes password. Okay, hashes password, and in this password first of all which user is already logged in. So here I just defining with this auth. Okay, so with this auth I just defining as a user, so which user is already logging with some of the password. So for the reasons here I just defining our password field. So our password is this one, I just defining it on particular that position. I hope you can well understand about it. Right now I am already logging with some of the password. Here you can see I am already logged in. So here, which password is user already logged in? First of all, he will be take that one. I just take that things with this variable. Now I just want to put some of the condition. Like here, I just define one of the if condition, and if already they have some of the hash password, like when you inserted some of the password, okay, within from a login page, it should be created one of the hash password in our password field, right? So first of all, he will be check with this one, and whatever the password you put on particular that position, so you should be check with this field and then with this field, and when two of these will be matched, then you can actually insert the new password on particular that position. So that's the things I want to do. So first of all, here I want to check with this hash. Like here you have to define as a hash, and first of all I want to check it. Okay, I just define the check and which request you actually pass. So here I just define that request, which request you pass from your old password field, that means here. So whatever the things you put on particular that position, it should be matched with on particular that area. Okay, so here I want to do that work. So here I just define that request our old password from our old password field. So here I just defining it, and also it should be matched with our current user, right? And then for the current user I take that variable, so I just copy it. So first of all, here with this hash password, he will be checked if our old password request will be matched with our existing user password, then it should be insert the data into the database field, right? So for now I want to do that work. For the reasons here, I just take another variable as the user, and here I defining as a user model. Okay, user model, he will be find, so he'll be find our auth ID. So here I just defining as a auth, and then our auth ID. Okay, so which user actually already logged in. So here he'll be matched with two of these on here, and after that I want to add our password field. That means here then this password will be saved again in our database password field area, right? So now go to that position, like here with our user, and here now in our password field I just defining it as a password, and now this password will be inserted in our database table, that means in our password area again. And when it should be inserted, I want to make that things as a hash password. That means it should be automatically created one of the hash password on particular that position. For the reasons I just defining as a hash, you will be make one of the hash passwords. So I just defining as a make, and here I just defining that password, which password you just requested. Okay, like with this request, whatever the field you pass that things from here. Okay, so for the reasons I just defining as a request and our password, that means this password, so I just defining as a password. I hope it should be very much clear to you what exactly the things I want to do. So after that, find out the ID. First of all, it should be matched with our old password. Then the current user will be able to change the another password. And this password field will be also inserted in our database with the hash password. So here I just defining it on particular that position. And after that, I want to save it. So here with that user, I want to save it. That means to save our new password. And here one things, like when this data will be inserted, okay, like when if you put the old appropriate old password, the password and the confirm password, and if you click on the update, when it should be updated, then I want to make that user as a logout. Okay, so automatically he will be log out when the new password will be entered. For the reasons here I just defining as the auth, and here I just simply added the logout. Okay, I just simply added the logout function on here, and when this data will be inserted, then I want to return it. So here I just defined as a returned. Okay, return, and then I want to redirect. I want to, he will be redirected to the our another route. Okay, that means he will be redirected to our logging page again. So I just defining as a route, and here I just defining it should be redirected to our logging page. So I just defining as the login page. And also if you want to show some of the message, so I already discussed about that things with you with some message. So here I just defining some of the message as a, I just take one of the variable as a success. Okay, success message. So with some of the message, so I just defining which message you want to visible. Like when this password will be changed, then I want to show some of the message as a password. Password is changed successfully. Okay, so this type of message I want to display. So it should be displayed in our logging page with I just define some of the success message. With some of the success message will be redirected. Okay, for this here I just define that with function. And after that, if you want to add some of the conditions, like there is actually our this one. Okay, so it's actually finishing on particular that position. So after that, here I want to add on the else condition. Else what exactly you will be do. Okay, I just define the another else, and here that is actually for our method, so better I just put that things on here. That is one. Okay, perfect. So into the else here he'll be redirected to the another page. Like here I just better copy it, and here I just defining as a return and redirect to our back page. So here I just define the route. Okay, redirect, and here I just define as the back. So right now I don't need this, so he'll be go to the back and with some of the error message. So here I just defining as the error. Okay, so I have to also visible that all that message, so I will show you that things later. And now he'll be display some of the error message as a current password is invalid. Okay, so this type of a message rather than he'll be do. So when this password will be changed, then it should be show some of the with some of the message as a this message. Else here I just put another condition, he'll be redirected to our back, and into the back he'll be redirected to, so with some of the error message as a current password is invalid. And here also one things we have to load, like here you can see I just call it as a auth, here I call it our user model, and also here I call it as a hash. So we have to load all the things, we have to use it on particular that position. So first of all, here I just define our use, and here I just define as the app, and if the app here I just defining as a user model. So here I just first of all load our user model on particular that position, and also I have to add our auth, that means the auth and the hash, so we have to also call it on particular that area. So it's actually on use, and then you have to define as a illuminate. Better I just defining it. Okay, like I just copied, and here is defining it illuminate, and after that you have to go to the support, and then you have to defining as a fades. Okay, fades, and after the fades then you have to define as a auth, that means this auth you have to defining it on here. Okay, and also I want to define the our hash, so hash will be the same place. So now that is another one is the hash, so I just define that our hash on particular that position. So that's all you have to do. I hope you can well understand about it, what exactly the things I did on particular that position. So if you have any query, just let me know about it. I will answer it again to you. Okay, so I will continue this process, and in your next video I will show you how you can display your all that message, like when it should be inserted, then it should be show some of the success message. So how can do that work in your next video? I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In a previous video, I already discussed about that things with you. Here I created one of the method as a change password method, and particular that position I just defining the required field, and also you'll be checked with our old password, then it will be saved with the new password. A new password will be also saved with the hash password. That means when these two of will be the match, then it should be updated, and when it should be updated, then it should be redirected to a logging page. Okay, in our logging route with this success message, and here that is actually the message. And else when it should be not matched with our old password, then also I defining as a else, and else you should be redirected to on particular that position. And here one things, like you can see I just make that things as a name field to the old password. So you have to make that as a password type. Like here if you go to that change password, and here that is actually the our field name, so that is a type. So right now there is a type as a text type, for the reason it's now visible like that way. So I just define that type as a password. So I just defining as a password. Click on the save all, and now if you refresh it, and now if you change it, yeah, you can see now it's actually password type. So now in this video, first of all, I want to show that our this message, that means the success message and also the error message. An error message will be directed to our back, and back means our change password, that means this page. Okay, so it will be redirected to on particular that position. So here, first of all, I want to display some of the error message. Okay, like here, that is our change password on particular that area. Like here, I is defining that message on particular that position. Okay, I just defining it on here. So I already added some of the alert. I already discussed about that things with you. If you go to the MD Bootstrap, here you will get some of the things like here. If you go to that components, and here there is alerts, and into the alert here, like that is for the error. I want to choose this one, so that is 1 2 3 4. That means here 1 2 3 4, that means this div. Okay, so for now I want to display that things on here. So first of all, here we have to add our get our this error message, that means this one. So here you can do that work with using the if conditions. Like here is defining as if, and I just simply and if. Okay, and that if condition, and particular that area, first of all I just defining with the session. Like here I just defining as a session, and in particular this session I want to add our ID. That means here I just define that, that means this one as a error message. So I just defining that error message on here, and into the particular position I want to display it. So for now I just copy that div for the alert, so I just paste it, and particular that position I want to defining it that with the session. Okay, so here I just defining it with this one session, and here I just defining the session with our error message. That means here there is the error message. So I just simply paste that particular that position. So now let's check this out. I just click on the save all, and now if you refresh that page, and now I just put some of the inappropriate, one of the old password and the new password and the confirm password. Now I just click on the update password. Yes, now you can see it's now showing some of the error message as the current password is invalid. So here I just defining it on particular that position, so that is the message is now visible with our alert message, alert danger, and also I defining it when it should be not matched, then it should be added the else, it will be redirected to our back page. That means our back page means our this change password page. Okay, and with the error, so that is the current password is invalid, so that the message is now visible on here. And also I added another validations, like here when it should be successfully updated. That means when these two old password and the current password will be the match, then he will be insert that data. That means they will be save that data, and then it should be show some of the success message. And here I just define that redirected to a logging page. So now go to our auth, and here that is our logging blade. So in particular that position. Okay, so here I want to actually visible it, like here. For now it should be just like that same. Here I just copy it, and here I just paste on particular that position, and now our message will be as a success. So I just copy it, and here I just defining as a success and as a success, because when it should be inserted then it should be redirected to our success alert. Okay, so for the success alert, like here it should be as a green, so 3, and 3 is that 1 2 3, that means this one. So I just better copy it, and here our success alert I just defining it on particular that position. So now let's check this out. That's all you have to do. Okay, so now I just click on the save all. Now if everything okay, it should be work. Like I just click on the refresh. So right now I'm already logging, and now our logging is a RN, and that is our email address, and I just defining the password as a 123 123 123. Okay, like here I just defining as 123 123 123. So now I put some of the conditions. If this will be matched with our current user login password, then it should be able to change the password. Okay, now I want to add the new password as a 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. and also I define 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Now if everything okay, should be work. Now I just click on the update password. Yes, now you can see that the password is changed successfully. And when this password is changed, automatically you can see I'm logged out from to this position. So that's the things I just defining it on here. When it should be log out, then it should be redirected to a logging page. So right now I'm already redirected to a logging page. And also I just defining with some of the message as a password is changed successfully. So now this message is now visible on particular that position. And also I define another conditions like when this will be the save, then automatically this authentication user will be logged out. Now you can see before I was logged out, when I change that password, automatically I am logged out from this position. So now if you're logging with your old password, now let's check this out, is working or not. So now I just put as the email address, and here I just define the password 123 123 123. Okay, so that was my previous password. Now click on the login. Yes, now you can see it's now showing as a do not match with the record. So now I just put our new password that I changed. So here I just defining as a 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Click on the login. Yeah, now you can see it's perfect. Now I'm already logged in. I hope you can well understand about it. It's perfectly now working on particular that position. So that's all you have to do for change that password functionalities. Now you can change it, you can update it with using this method. Okay. So it's pretty much easy. That's the reason I actually chose the Laravel. Laravel is very much easy. You can create this type of authentication very easily. So now you can see it's now perfectly now work on particular that area. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In a previous video, I already discussed about that things with you, how can change or update your password functionality from these positions. Like if you logged in and now if you go to the change password, and here one things I want to share with you, like here if you put your old password, that means right now I'm already logging with one of the password I just said 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and now I want to add the new password like is 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5, and here I also defining it. Okay, I just defined the new password. Now click on the update password. So when it should be updated, now you see it's now redirected to a logging page. But now if you click on the go back, now here you can see after that logout, you can access that change password page. So I am right now already logged out, but I can access that page. So you have to actually prevent it. So you can prevent it very easily in Laravel. Then you have to add some of the constructor for this one. Like go to your controller, there is a change password controller. On particular that position here, I want to define that with the public. Like here I just define as a public, and then function, and after the function here I just define one of these space and double underline, then the construct. So I just define the construct on particular that position. So with this construct here, you have to define your middleware for the authentication. Like I just defining as a with these. Okay, with these here I just defining our middleware, and into the middleware I just defining our auth. Okay, that means the auth folder I just defining as a some of the privilegization on particular that area. So now that's all you have to do. So here I just defining it on particular that area. So now if you click on the save all, and now if you refresh it, like here I just refresh that page. Yes, now you see it's now automatically redirected to you the logging page. Right now you are not able to access the change password page when you log out. I hope you can well understand about it. So that's the things I defining on particular that position. So friend, that is very much basic Laravel default authentication system, how can work with this one. So if you have any query, if you face any problem, or if you have any query, if you want to update that section, then let me know about it. I will create another video and add that video into the course section. So with your help, I want to make this course perfect for you.